Hopefully you guys can hear me now. I am back. I was just on live a few minutes ago with this topic that I wanted to discuss with you all. And I'm going to wait for a few minutes for some of you to pop in here. And hopefully, like I said, y'all can hear me. I do have somebody that's going to join the live with me. One of my cousins is going to join the live with me. I don't know when she's going to come in, but she's going to come in and, give her 2 cents on the topic as well. Give her 2 cents on the topic as well. So it sounds like you guys can hear me. So y'all see the title. What I was saying before is that I'm in the house, and a lot of times when I'm at home, I'll be thinking about a lot of different things. And I was thinking about something that Kevin Samuels has said on his platform, and he said this, several times on his platform. And it was specifically to Black women in terms of dating and marrying an average guy, because the women that call into his show, they're basically looking for a high value man. They want a man who's making $100,000 in the 6-figure range, right? But the thing about it is, there's more average income earning men than there are 6-figure men. Okay? So that means that women are competing for the same type of man. So his talking point on that is, why not settle for an average earning income man? Like if you're a woman who is making, 6 figures, and you're in the $100,000 or $200,000 income range. Why can't you settle for a man who makes $40,000, which is, $40,000 to $50,000, which is the average income for a man? That's the average income for men in America, right? If you're a woman who is making $150,000 to $250,000 a year, $150,000 to $200,000 a year, why does your man have to match your income? You don't need his money. So that's the premise behind that, right? I'm over here. I'm like cleaning up my kitchen and stuff like that as I'm talking to y'all. This garbage can needs to be cleaned out so bad. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just like cleaning out putting up dishes and all that. And as I was doing all this, I had this stuff on my mind. So, the title of the video is, would you date or marry a man who worked at Burger King or fries? And I'm not talking about a man who worked at Burger King and he's the general manager or he's, in managerial position. If he was a regular worker at Burger King, would you date him or possibly marry him? But he's a hardworking man. He's doing, 60, 70 hours a week so that he can provide for his family. When I heard Kevin Samuels talk about this, he also was saying that, and I have to say that I agreed with him on this point. What he said one time when I was listening to him, he compared Black women to Spanish women. And basically what he was saying was that when you take a Hispanic woman, right? And her man works, let's say, at Burger King, because Burger King is what I have for the topic right now. He works at Burger King, right? When he comes home from work, despite the fact that he works at Burger King, she is going to greet him and treat him like the king that he is. It's like, for certain cultures, it doesn't matter where the man works or what his income is. Certain cultures of women, they're still going to worship their man and treat him like the king that he is of the castle, no matter what his income is. But you take a black woman, and I have to say that I'm speaking for myself. I personally do feel the same way. Like, I'd rather not have a man that work at Burger King on fries. And I can honestly say that, ooh, y'all might not like me after I say this, but I'm going to say it. This is my feelings. If I had a man who worked at Burger King on fries, I wouldn't look at him as the head of the household. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't be the man to me. I would want him to be making more or doing more. And that's not a good thing. That's not a good mentality to have. I can honestly say that something's wrong with that. But I believe that the reason why I think like that, and I believe most black women think like that, is because we feel a little privileged over here in America. Like, we feel a little bit, we have a sense of entitlement, a sense of, like, we deserve for our man to be more than we are in terms of finances. It's just not, it's not good. It's not good to think like that, because at the end of the day, I'm looking for a plastic bag so I can put this old food in. I can't find a plastic bag, y'all. I guess I'll just put it in here, because I don't want to put it in the garbage just like that, because then that's going to, I had freaking gnats in here, it was tearing my nerves up. But anyway, it's not good. Like, why do we have this sense of entitlement as black women? Why is it that other women in other cultures can appreciate their man as being the head of the household and the king of the castle, no matter how much money he makes? What is that? Where does that mentality come from? Why do we feel so entitled like that? Where did we learn this mindset from? Who taught this to us? Like, come on now. You know, a lot of people, a lot of women, black women specifically, look at Kevin Samuels and they don't like him. They don't like the things that he say and stuff like that. But in all honesty, Kevin Samuels be hitting some nerves. I think he be hitting some nerves. I think that a lot of things that he say about women in the black community, they feel like it's true. And you know what they say about the truth. The truth hurt. So I think that's the reason why a lot of black women can't take him as a commentator, as a social media influencer, whatever you want to call him, a content creator. I'm gonna say that's what I should say, a content creator. a lot of black women can't take him as a content creator because he's saying things that's true. Not saying that the things that he's saying is true for all black women, but for most of us, I can say that a lot of things that he says is true for most of us. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to hear from you all. Would you date or marry a man that worked at Burger King and not in the managerial position, not a regional manager, not a store manager, not a just not a man in a managerial position, you know, in a higher up position? Would you date a man or marry a man who works at Burger King on fries? I think, in my opinion, I think that most of the women that's going to watch this video and hear this question would say no. That's my opinion. Let me see what you guys are saying. Hey, here for the tea. Hey, Lisa. I feel like if a man is hardworking and has a decent job, he will eventually get to those six figures. Just my opinion. I agree. Here for the tea. But what if this man is okay with being at the level that he's at? Could you accept him in that position and be happy and live happily ever after? We're not saying, you know, dating or marrying a man with potential, but dating or marrying a man in the position that he's in right there, and that's good enough for him. He's hardworking. He's pulling in 80, 90 hours a week to make sure that his income meets the requirements to take care of the household. And that's where he's comfortable and satisfied at. Could you do that? Could you do that? If he has morals and a gentleman, sure. Baratiki says, better sound but muffled. Do I still sound muffled? Here for the T says, it depends on his age and how long he's been at Burger King. If I'm a woman almost 40 and I have my own, I don't necessarily want a man that's making a lot less than me. I feel the same way. Latricia says, hell no. Good morning, Tamika. Latricia says, hell to the no. Yeah, because there are teenage boys and fries at Burger King. I don't want a man making teenage wages. Baratiki says, I am unemployed. I don't need a green card. Who in the chat wants to meet her king at Burger King? Burger King's supposed to help you towards a real career going through college. I'm a realist, so it is what it is. Don't feel bad for your preference. Right. Here for the tea, like, I could honestly say that, let's say it's not Burger King. Let's say he's working an entry-level position making $35,000 a year. I don't want that either. I'm going to be straight up and, I'm going to be honest, because $35,000, $40,000 a year, how much is that? Let's see. I'm going to do the math right now. 40,000, let's say 40,000 a year. Let's say 40,000 a year. How much is that? 40,000 divided by 52. That's $769 a week, right? Up north, most places up north, like New York, even Jersey or whatever, $700 a week is not enough. Rent in New York City for a one bedroom is going to run you about $1,500 to $2,000 a month. So those people would have to be working really, really hard in order for that to be sustainable. And then even in that case, it's going to be like a struggle. So you figure $769 times 4, that's $3,076, and that's before taxes, like someone said in the chat. I've seen somebody say in the chat that's before tax. So let's say, I don't know how much tax is going to be taken out of this, but what I said, 769 times 4, that's $3,076. Let's say after tax a month, minus, I'm gonna just minus like $500 for taxes a month. That'll leave you with $2,576, right? Now you got to pay your rent, minus $1,800 for rent. You're left with $776, right? Now you got to eat. You got to buy food. You got to eat. So a household of maybe 3 or 4 people, 2 children, 2 adults. That's 4 people. Now you got to eat. You're going to probably spend about, I don't know, $300-400 a month for food, right? My numbers might be a little off, but I think I'm in the right area. So now you're left with $376. Light bill, phone bills, life insurance, if you have a car insurance. In New York City, let's say this family doesn't have a car. You don't necessarily need a car in New York City. But that $376 it's not going to be enough. So, of course, in a situation like this, the wife or the woman, whoever, it doesn't have to be a marriage. Could be, 2 people that just cohabitating together or whatever. At that point, both parties have to work. But let's say this. Let's say you're a woman and you're making, I need to keep moving. What am I doing, y'all? Because I'm trying to clean up this kitchen. Let's say you're a woman and you're making, like I said, 6 figures. You're doing $200,000 a year, and your man is making $40,000. You meet a man, he's making $40,000 a year. Why do you need his money if you're making $200,000? Why do you need his money? And why would we be looking at this man like he's beneath us because he's not on the same financial level as us? If he is treating you with respect, loyal and faithful to you, if he cooks and he cleans and he do all the things that society labels women to do, what would be wrong with that? You make $200,000 and he's making $35,000-40,000. Why not take that over dying alone? What's wrong with that? What is wrong with that? What y'all think? What about that today? Is that something that you all can't do as well? I ain't gonna lie, even in that position, me personally, I would definitely prefer for him to be making way more than that. It don't have to be the same amount as me, but I would prefer for him to be making way more than 40 or 50, 35 or $40,000. And it's definitely a mindset thing. Like, it's definitely a mindset because in my mind, the man is the breadwinner. The man is the provider. The man is the person that is supposed to carry the financial load. So that would be hard for me to accept. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Good morning, Tamika. American society tradition. Yeah, it is. I agree with a lot he says, but his delivery is off. Because the majority of black women have been the head of the household. Who wants a grown boy? Amalia says no, she wouldn't. See? Lisa says no. Oh, she's talking to Baratiki. Kevin is degrading 99% of the time. I am still a toddler. I want milk. What? What are y'all talking about? If I was in my early 20s, but now that I'm almost 40, no. No, I can't do complacency at all. Well, let's see. 35,000 is not enough money even in Texas. It's not enough money. Certain parts of down south, I don't think is enough money. For real. Hey, Jill. Thanks for coming and watching and sitting in the bushes, girl. Let's see. You can't do nothing, let alone provide for a family with those coins. Gonna have to have a side gig. Yes. A lot of women accept men that make less these days because there's not a lot of men out here bringing the bag. Roles have switched. That's true. Here for the tea. That is very true. I need a hot mama who will make me happy. We need to be on the same level. I'm making 200. He needs to be somewhere near that. Well, I'm gonna say this: if I was making $200,000 a year, he doesn't have to be making $2,000 a year for me. It doesn't have to be that much. I'm gonna be really, really honest with y'all. Okay, y'all. Let me see if my cousin came on yet, because my cousin's supposed to be coming on here. She ain't get on yet. So I'm in here like straightening up and cleaning up and stuff, y'all. So y'all bear with me. But why is it that women from other cultures, why are they okay with this though? What is it that they have been taught from, what am I trying to say? What's the difference between what they've been taught versus what we've been taught? Like, were they taught to still respect and look up to their man as the head of household and the king of the castle, no matter what? Like, or is it because that Is it because their privileges are less than ours? Like, what is the difference? Like, that's what I'm trying to get to. Like, what's the difference in why is it that their mindset is so different from ours when it comes to this type of topic? What is that? Why is it so different? Can somebody explain that? And if somebody do you guys want to come up on the chat? If y'all want to come up on here and talk, I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. So if anybody want to come up here and give their opinion on this topic, you can. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link in the chat now, guys, because I want to hear some of you guys' opinion on it. And you don't have to come on the screen. If you don't want to come on the screen, you can block the camera. So I'm gonna drop the link in the chat so we can chop it up on this topic. Let's see. Oh, let me turn this down. Thanks for sharing the video here for the tea. So there's the link, guys. I just dropped the link in the chat. I'm gonna pin it. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat now. Yeah, I think that this is a really good topic, and it's something that should be discussed because there's so many single black women out here, and I think a lot of it. Do I still sound muffled? I think a lot of it has to do with, black women just not wanting to settle for just not wanting to settle. Jill says, you're welcome. I can't accept that. I've been holding down my own since I was 18, so I can't see myself settling for that. I might as well keep struggling on my own. So is it still struggling if you have a man with an income that's less than yours, but it's still an income? Would you say that you're still struggling? Because, I'm playing devil's advocate now because I just said that, that would probably be something that I can't accept either. Like, that wouldn't be my preference. So I'm playing devil's advocate. Let's say, like I said, the man is making $40,000 a year and you're making $200,000 a year. You really don't. Let me not make the number so astronomical. Let's say he's making $40,000 and you're making $60,000. Are you really settling or struggling when you have another income? It's a whole another income. It's another income that's going to add on to your 60. So now, with this combined income, you have $100,000 in the household as opposed to $60,000. So is that really struggling? I don't think that's struggling. I don't think of that as struggling. That's not struggling at all, if you ask me. If you ask me, a situation like that, you came up. You came up. Because like I said, now your $60,000 income is now at $100,000. Um, it's too expensive to go into a relationship knowing that you two are going to struggle. Where's the upgrade? Um, what's the question? That I've been holding my own since I was 18. I am looking like a werewolf right now, still on my ZZ Top bed journey. What about the hard labor? Whatever. Um, Hardcore rather. Not saying that I'm struggling because I've been blessed. So Maureen says he would have to be looking for something that pays more. He can't be satisfied with staying there if we are going to get married. It all depends on his debts that come along with him. Okay, so now let's do this. I got something even better for y'all. I got something even better. I'm going to have all kind of scenarios for y'all. Let me see. I want to bring you guys a little closer. So I was saying earlier, what I was saying earlier was, what if this is a man that treats you like no other man has ever treated you ever in life, but he doesn't have a desire to do anything more than what he's doing at the moment. But he treats you like a queen. Like, you don't have to worry about nothing. And clearly, you're in a position where you don't have to worry about money because you're making your own money. And the money that you're making, you could sustain your life yourself. But you got this average earning income man that comes along and treats you like a queen. Like you've never been treated this good ever in life. Ladies, you still not going to accept that? I'm talking about you don't have to do nothing. You ain't got to do shit. You ain't got to do nothing. He's cooking for you. He's cleaning. You come home from work, he got bath water ready for you. You come home from work, he got bath water running for you. Let's say you do a job where you type, your job entails you typing all day. So you've been typing and, using your hands at work all day, every day for years, and you got wrist problems, thumb problems, like carpal tunnel problems and all of that. And you come home from work and he just sit there and he gets a massage, or he just start massaging your hands and your wrists, your arms and everything, because he knows that these are the things that's ailing you. You ain't got to ask them. You just do it. So that's still unacceptable? You don't need his money. You don't need his money. Now, we're not saying that this man is not working at all. He's just not making the amount of money that you think that you should have. He's not making the amount of money that you think your man should be making. I mean, and when I say okay treating you like no man has ever treated you ever in life. Like, he doesn't cheat on you. He's a good communicator. He doesn't lie to you. Like, all the things that we as women want from men outside of money. He's giving you all of that. But he only makes $40,000 a year, and he's comfortable with that. And on occasion, he may work overtime and make a little bit more money. But he's comfortable with that. You still don't want that man? Come on, somebody. Ah! I ain't even gonna lie. I think I might take that man. Yeah. Now, of course, on the flip side, if your income isn't, enough for you to sustain your lifestyle, and you kind of struggling with paying your bills and things like that, and then you got this guy that comes along and he's a great guy in all those areas, you're going to need him to step it up in the financial area too. I know I would. I know that I would. I'm going to need him to step it up. Y'all feel me? I'm going to need him to step it up. Yes. I'm going to need him to step all the way up. So I want to see what you guys are saying in the chat about this scenario I just gave y'all. I want to hear what y'all got to say. Let's see what y'all got to say about that. Nobody want to come on and voice their opinion? I think I answered that question, Tamika. I think I answered that question about my definition of being treated like a queen. I think I answered that. Let me see. Let me see what y'all saying. Let's see. Jill said maybe I'm saying it wrong. Latricia said, what if one of you get to where you can't work? Well, if one person gets to where they can't work, the other person got to carry the load. The other person got to carry the load. Tamika says, I wouldn't want him doing household chores. He's supposed to massage you anyway. Yeah, but some men don't do that. Some men don't do that, Patricia. Jill says he needs to want more. No, I don't want that man. I need to be able to live and retire. Verity says, that is a good man, Tish. He makes enough to sustain himself. Men do not need much. I think I would be annoyed if he did everything all the time. It may come off fake to me. Really, here for the tea? Wow. I'm not planning on working the rest of my life, honey. I know that's right. I couldn't sit back and be pampered like that. My love language is tokens of affection. I like stuff. Can clean the house myself. Right, Tamika? Letitia, take a break. I am coming over to what? He can't be cool with staying at 40K. We can clean together. I need to be able to retire and live comfortably. Okay, I'll check it out. Okay, so basically, ladies, y'all saying that y'all okay with just being single for the rest of your life. That's what it says. That's what it sounds like to me. Y'all okay with that? And if that's the case, that's cool. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Like Kevin Samuels says, get a dog and die alone. Kevin Samuels be like, get a dog, die alone. Oh, shoot. No, that is funny. When he be saying stuff like that, I just be cracking up. I think it's funny. A lot of women be getting offended by it, and like, oh no, the fuck he did not say that, and this and that. Y'all, the things that he be saying, I be cracking the hell up. The shit is funny to me. It's funny to me. Why y'all can't laugh at it? That man is just full of jokes and full of shock jocks. He's a shock jock. Disc jockey, whatever you want to call him. Yes. Y'all know what? I said that, I'm just putting this in this bag right now because I gotta, I'm cleaning out my garbage can. And I need to go and pour the water that's in it inside the toilet. But, I was thinking about, wait a minute, hold on, y'all. Let me pour this water out of this garbage can. And I'll be right back, y'all. Hold on, I'll be right back. So yeah, I was thinking about how Kevin Samuels' channel grew so big and how he blew up and everything. And the crazy thing is that so many people can't stand this man because of the things that he say towards black women and things like that. But I personally believe that those are the things that helped his channel grow. Because for some reason we as people, we like to look at content creators that come off a little controversial and it's just going to be a little disrespectful or really blunt or things like that. So I believe that those are the reasons why his channel grew the way that it did. He's at over 1 million subscribers right now, right? So I was thinking about it, and I had said to myself, maybe, just maybe, I should start doing panel discussions and have men call into the show, and I start disrespecting them. I bet you my channel will grow then. Have men call up to the show and start telling them shit like, oh, so you're underpaid and fat. Oh my God. Do y'all know if I started doing that on my channel, people would draw to my channel based on that type of commentary. So many people would come and start watching my channel based on that type of commentary. I swear, I thought about that. I was like, I need to start doing that type of shit to the men. For real. For real. Let's see what y'all saying in the chat. I didn't say I'm good with being single for the rest of my life. I didn't say I was single, Tish. You're right, you didn't say any of that. Voice out, Captain. All okay. This is where everybody at. Oh yeah, this is where everybody over here, voice out, Captain. What's up? Voice out, Captain. You don't want to come on the channel and give your opinion on the topic? I'll drop the link in the chat. Jill says, I don't watch Kevin Samuels. I don't have a clue. Girl, if you look at Kevin Samuels, girl, I'm not single, been married since 2008, but I have a lot of single friends and the dating pool is terrible. That's the fact. I'm here for the tea. A lot of single women do have dogs though. Yes, they do. One day I was talking to my guy on the phone, and he was, in his neighborhood looking for parking. And he said to me, he was like, I see a lot of women over here with dogs, right? And I know that he was saying that because he listens to Kevin Samuels. He's an avid listener of Kevin Samuels. I actually put him onto it. I've heard some of the things he says. I think most of it is his deliverance. Some of the stuff I've heard him say, yeah, it's true, yeah. What's good? Oh, okay. My sister-in-law got rid of her dog before her husband proposed. Girl, you're a mess. Mm-hmm. Having a man that makes 6 figures does not guarantee a happy wife. Exactly. Tell me why I thought this was a Burger King mukbang. I don't know why you thought it was. Should I stay because he doesn't help inside the home, or leave because he doesn't make 6 figures? Catch 22. Yeah, Tamika, you got a point. But I'm not even talking about a situation that you are already in. I'm talking about a new situation. I'm talking about you meet someone who is making like $40,000 a year, and the way that I described this man treating you, would you be with somebody like that? Somebody that you just met. He makes $40,000 a year, but he treats you like everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to worry about shiznit. Like, you ain't gotta worry about nothing. The only thing that's missing is he just doesn't make the amount of money that you feel he should be making in order to be with you. And what is it about you that you feel like you're entitled to that type of income earning man? You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. Do y'all have a junk drawer? I think mostly everybody have a junk drawer. Most people have a junk drawer, right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I see voice stop capping is on here. Come on through, voice stop capping.
Man, I've been at the back door for about 3 hours.
I'm sorry, I didn't see. I'm running back and forth and stuff like that. You gotta forgive me because I'm cleaning up. I'm doing a whole lot of stuff right now. So
Stop
forgive me.
capping, boy.
I
So
was
hey,
trying to,
let's
I
focus
was,
on this
try-
topic. Voice stop capping.
I was trying to tell you, you missed the spot.
What? You
You
know
missed
what's
the.
wrong?
Hey, now look on the topic though. Like, okay, like I understand. Like, people talk about a dude that's making 40,000, right? But what makes a woman entitled to date a man that's a millionaire? What entitles you specifically?
Right. That's
Like,
what
who?
the ladies in the chat.
Right, like who are you to say you deserve a millionaire? Like, who are you to do that? Like, yo, why you can't work it out with the Burger King dude with the 40K?
Right. I agree.
Yeah, I'm saying everybody not meant to be millionaires. That's why they got the rich folk and the poor folk.
Right.
For years, it's been rich and poor people. If everybody was meant to be millionaires, everybody be millionaires.
That's fact. This
Now,
is
I ain't saying downgrade yourself. You get what I'm saying? But don't like diss no dude that's like just because he making 40K and this other dude may be making 200K. Like, don't diss the 40K dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, give him a chance.
and
I
that's
agree.
You might motivate him to get money. Like, he might in his head he might be like, man, you know what, man? Forget this Burger King shit, G. We got to do better. You get what I'm saying? Like, you might motivate him to get out there. Now he getting money. You know what I'm saying? Like the legit way type shit. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. I agree. I agree. But I think that it's specifically black women in America, we've been conditioned to think that we deserve a man with, a higher earning income. Like, it's just something about our culture that just messed us up in that area, I think.
It's the culture for sure. It's the get money lifestyle. It's the Cardi B's and the Megan Thee Stallions, and everybody want the rich lifestyle. They want the Gucci and the Louis. They want the new purses. They want to get the teeth fixed. All type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll lead you to diss a dude that's making 40K. You get what I'm saying?
Right,
Compared to a dude that's making 200 who can get your teeth fixed right now.
right. What's your opinion on the topic, Sarah?
Well, I'm listening to Boy Stop Capping, and I'm listening to you. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Oh,
But
it's
I
on you,
think that,
bro. Go ahead.
yes, I think that I would like to see American men and women, especially African American, to mend the fences and start working together. You know, the system allows you to be independent and have jobs and stuff like that. But the family unit is the basis for society. And given the history and everything, when it comes to African American, we can see that there is a lot of dysfunctionment. I think maybe that's the word
Just
within the family. Dysfunctionment, or disorder in the families. Like all the kids in the street, single parents, and all that kind of stuff. And the money, I think, is because in America it's a capitalist country. You get advertising, bombarded with advertisement, and you think that you need a certain number of things that in reality you don't need, especially when you are young, because when you're young you can get with a sister or brother. You can get together and decide to create a family, that is, have children together, raise them together. And if you cannot afford a $200 shirt or a $200 pair of sneakers because they're telling you, well, buy these brand new Air Jordan, whatever, at $250 when they're manufactured for $3 or $4 a pair. You don't have to do it. But if the parents themselves feel the need to partake in this consumerism, then the children are going to be contaminated with that same spirit. Because when you look at it, children, they don't really care. They don't really care about the material things.
They
You know,
don't.
babies, they're pure. When they're born, they're totally pure. When you look at children, like for instance, when you take the story of people like James Brown and everything, they tell you that they grew up in poverty but had no idea they were poor. You know, it all depends on how the family manages things, and that's why the family is important. The family is not just the father and the mother and the children, because the father may have a sister or a brother. You know, I mean, there's the extended family, and I believe that in America, African Americans used to have a very strong sense of family. I don't know when this thing started to break up. Maybe it was the 80s or something. I don't know, or the 70s.
The
But
welfare, the
you know,
welfare
you know,
era.
well, that's what I hear, on on YouTube and everything. But I'm not sure it's that because, well, I remember I was in America in the 80s and I met some good families there. Like Black American people that were living in families. I mean, the grandfather is part of the family. Uh, Whoever is in part of the family is part of the family. It's not like the white people. White people have a very compartmentalized type of living. That's why at 18 they kick the kids out and everything. And when you get married, you forget about your other members of the family except on the holidays. But African people, Black people, usually have very strong family ties. In other words, if you're in trouble, your sister can take care of you, help you out, and it seems to me, I don't know because I'm not I'm not living within the African American people, but it seems to me that too many African American people have taken the habits of the white people. It seems to me that African American people are trying to be like what they see on TV, which is just a fantasy. You have to keep in mind that you are a minority, 40 million people, so you're a very small minority, and you have been ostracized for too long. So the family unit is the strongest weapon that you have. Okay, so when you look at some guy like Little Nas X or whatever, I don't know where his dad is. Where is his mom? Where is his uncle?
Right.
Where is his grandfather? I mean, this kind of behavior is unacceptable. But it's
That,
not people on the internet, on YouTube and stuff that are going to stop him because he's getting paid by some people and he thinks, fuck it, I don't care about my dad. Now, in Africa, you cannot do that because the shame is going to be on you. Even people who are not direct blood relatives, but know your parents are going to tell you, man, what the fuck you doing? Excuse my French. What's going on? You just cannot get away with it. And that's why I think that women in America who are very strong, I mean, Black American women, I mean, I only met nice Black American women when I visited the US. I visited a lot of times. I've visited America. And the Black American women that I met there were fantastic. That's why when I started listening to Kevin Samuels, I was surprised, and I see on internet and everything. I said, when did the Black American woman become so toxic? And I see some other Black American women making videos like bashing, and I think that sometimes, most of the time, I think it may be because they want to get views and they make money off of the internet. But I can tell you that I met some very nice African American women in America. I had a positive experience with them. And the negative experience that I can count with African American women were outside of America. When I met some of them in Europe and everything, you know what I mean? They had an attitude and said, I was like, what's wrong with these women? And that was the only negative that I had with African American women. I mean, not that they were totally negative with me, but they had a behavior that was very strange to me compared to the people that I had met in America. So I think it's very important for you, American women, forget about all the noise that you hear. Forget about all those people bashing you. You know, go back to basics. Okay. The family unit is very important. And the family unit, you know, when I look at Tish, that's why I every time I get a notification, I tune on her. Why? Because I've seen her with her sister. I see that she, you know, she likes to take care of her home and everything. She's very friendly and she seems to be very family oriented, because I checked one of her channel that she was doing with her sisters and she was at home, and sometimes she talks about her sister, her mom and everything. She goes to, that's what we need, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, we need more of that. We need more of that, and we need to see more of that on the social media, because I'm telling you, young people today, you know, people who were 20 years old, they were born in 2000, they have no clue. They have no clue, and they're all on their phones. You know, I mean, I know kids, you know, I have a child and everything. I mean, they're in their 20s and stuff. All they do is, you know, social media. And if they don't have the information, and if they're in an environment where they're bombarded with like examples like Cardi B or Little Nas X, these people, they will not be able to have a good future. I'm serious, unless the family structure, and I mean the extended family,
I
you know,
wanted to touch
steps
on
in.
that. I wanted to touch on that, what you said as far as the extended family. What I noticed also in other cultures, like in certain African cultures, when there's a couple, a married couple, if they're having problems in their marriage, they go and they talk to the elders in the family. They don't right away go to, okay, we're going to divide the family with divorce or whatever. They go to the elders in the family and they have a conversation, and the elders encourage them to stay together no matter what the circumstances is. Even in the Indian culture, that happens. But in American culture, Black American culture, we don't do that. We don't have people that we can go to in the family and talk to about the problems that we're having in our marriage as a couple, you know, and they sit us down and say, well, maybe you should try this, or maybe you should try that. You know, we don't have people that we can go to get tips and pointers and things like that to keep the marriage and keep the family together.
Hey, but technically, low key, we do though. You,
Who?
we got our parents, but this is why, right? This is why we don't, because we not gonna talk to them as a whole. We gonna talk to them separate. You get into it with your spouse, man. I'm finna call my mama.
That's what I'm saying. Like we don't do it. Like we don't do it as a whole. Like let's say I was married
Mm-hmm.
and me and my husband are having issues in our marriage, and I say to my husband, listen, let's go to grandma or to mom, your mother or my mother. Let's go to her and talk to her together, as opposed to, like you said, calling them as individuals
Right.
and thinking about your partner. When you do that, that's not good.
Right.
It's not good because they're only hearing one side of the story, number one. They're only hearing one side of the story. So most people automatically is going to take the side of the person who they're talking to.
Facts.
When, you know, they say there's three sides, you got your side, this side, and the truth. Now, if you go to the elders and the family together, they can hear both of you out. And to me, doing it like that shows unity, and it shows that you guys want to work on your relationship, work on your marriage. You're not calling the person just to vent and talk about that person to someone in your family. You're calling them together so that we can figure out how we can stay together. So we don't have enough of that.
But then another thing is, you know how people is too in the black community. Man, listen, man, don't be telling nobody about my business. Like what, like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
men can be like they're like, man, like you just told them about my business. Like well,
Yeah, but the
our
thing
business,
is,
like type shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you could be like that in the head, like for real.
but it's really, and
yes,
it's not,
boy, stop
in all
capping.
honesty though, is it just your business that, like Barry was saying, the extended family being a part of it too? Why is it
Right,
that our mindsets don't work to where it's like we're all family? Let's all, help this
right.
married couple in our family that's underneath us. Where before them, we did this before. Why can't we direct them and show them how to do it the way that we did it?
True.
Like why don't we have that? Like I just feel like the Black American culture is like so messed up in so many. Even from the topic that we're discussing here today on the panel about, would you date or marry a man that worked at Burger King?
Right.
Most of the women in the chat, all the women in the chat said, hell no.
I mean, cause when you say it like that, like, would you date a dude that work at Burger King and then you go to your local Burger King and look at the dude and then you be like, no, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's like,
We say, I was walking Burger King and a man is behind the counter serving, on the cash register or on fries or whatever, and I don't see that maybe he got the title of general manager, regional manager, manager.
right,
Looking at him,
right,
he can't talk to me.
But I
right.
think that a
I
lot
mean,
of the
I
women
feel
on the
you on
chat,
that. I
a
feel
lot
you
of
on that
women on
part.
the chat are older. So now they're in their 40s or 50s and stuff. They don't see themselves with some guy, regular dude from McDonald's or whatever. I
But
can
shit,
understand that.
hey,
Well, I can
Bartiki,
understand that, but the idea is when I talk about the family, somebody Jill's comfort zone says that it depends on the kind of family, everything. Not There is no perfect family, which is why it has to be the extended family. And here in Africa, I give an example. And even here we're having problems now because of television and everything. Everybody's getting influence and stuff. But the thing is, when two families get together, I mean, it's very important. It's a marriage between two families, and you cannot let somebody down in either family. And usually, when you marry your girlfriend or your wife, okay, then usually there is somebody in the other family that you're close to, okay, because I mean you have to go out with the girl and everything. It's not like in America where when you date a girl, let's say you're in college, you date a girl and you don't even know her parents. You guys decide to get married. I mean, nobody knows the parents of anybody. I mean, it seems to me that's what's going on now. I mean, that's not the way it should be. You need to get to know the family of your partner, okay? And then there's always going to be somebody that you're close to in that family, so that when trouble, I mean, when there's trouble in paradise, you
Mm-hmm.
pick up your telephone and you call that person, okay? Hey, how are you doing today? Yeah. How was your day, etc. I just wanted to talk to you. Okay, what's going on? Well, I mean, I need you to talk to you know, ex, my partner, because, we've been having it. Oh, really? And that person will come and check you out and come and see you at your place. Of course, that's if you live close to each other. And you will talk about it a little bit. And then maybe it's the sister of your wife or something like that. Then they will talk to their sister or the brother if it's a woman and everything, and you try to smooth things out. And there's always somebody in the family that's been married before. There's always somebody in the family that's maybe has gone through a divorce or something. But when you do it within the family, that's why this one thing about Kevin Samuel that I don't agree with is when he tells everybody you need to go to therapy. I mean, therapy is a totally uh, Western way of thinking, because they don't have the family really. They are very individualistic. That's why they need to go to some kind of PhD or whatever, sit down in an office and spill their beans and that's what they call therapy. But in Africa, we do the therapy within the family, which is why when somebody just said earlier that talk my business. No, your business is going to be talked within the family,
Within the family.
and the family doesn't, and the family is not going to talk about your business or the business of the family somewhere else. For instance, the Campbell family is not going to go and tell the Williams what's going on in the Campbell family. The Campbell family is going to take care of the Campbell business, okay? And you don't have to go see Dr. Smith, okay, to talk about your problem. Before you go to Dr. Smith, you're going to have to go talk to Grandma Campbell or Grandma Jenkins, who's the two families, before you go to some kind of therapist. Spend money in a therapist. Why? Because it's within the family. You have to solve it within the family. And the way when you do that, even if there is a divorce, it's an amicable separation. It's never the kind of war that I see, like War of the Roses and shit, fighting over the children. No, because the children are totally innocent, okay? And even if the parents find out that they have irreconcilable differences, that doesn't mean that they're at war with each other, okay? If everybody has intervened, the parents, the sisters, everybody has intervened, and they say, okay, no, I can't, there's no way, I don't want to live on the same roof with him, he farts all the time, or he hits me, he beats me, whatever. Okay, no problem, you guys can separate, but we're going to make sure that the children do not struggle or do not suffer from this separation. Okay,
Right.
That's why the family structure is very, very, very important. And I'm not saying that the families is all perfect. I mean, there's probably some bad element in every single family, but not everybody is bad. In every family, there's some wise people, some smart people. The problem is the youngest, like the one that just got married and are thinking about divorcing. They're the one who need to reach up to the elders and ask them for advice. They're the one who need, and you have to pick the elder. If you have an old uncle that is a crackhead, you're not going to go to him and ask him for advice. But if you make an effort to know the family, you're going to find somebody in the family that you can talk to who has a level head and who is a stable individual in their own life. And then you can go and talk to them. And I think that that's been broken down in the African American family experience. I think that people, it seems to me they don't respect each other, because I mean, how can you go out in the street and start, shooting at each other, man? What the hell is going on?
Right.
That has to stop. And somebody walks into a place and gets beaten over the head. I mean, come on, and robbed. Why? Those people, do they have parents? I mean, like the other day, there was some kid, he was on the net and stuff, and they made a big deal, and that was a 14-year-old kid that was out at 1 o'clock in the morning and got in trouble. I was like, what is a 14-year-old child doing outside, going to a party, at 1 o'clock in the morning? It's just like the other one in Miami. I don't know if you remember this story, the Brother Polite thing.
Yeah.
Okay, the girl is a what, 14 years old?
Yeah.
And he asked to her mom, okay, let me take her to a after party. I mean, what the hell is going on? I mean, 14 years old, at 9 p.m. you are in bed. I'm sorry. And
Hey, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Hey, I need to ask a question to the chat, right? Okay, so chat, they said they wouldn't mess with no dude at Burger King, right? So now what if he was a district manager? So I just looked up, the district manager gets in between 55,000 to 110,000 a year, depending on the experience and like what region you work in and all that type of shit. So you wouldn't date a guy on that salary?
Yeah, but Tish said that we don't talk about the manager. She's talking about the regular guy.
Are you talking about a cashier?
Yes.
Yeah, the guy on the fries.
Hey, listen, ain't nobody finna talk. Listen, ain't nobody finna talk to no cashier. Hey, look here, man. Hey, but hey, as a man, when I go in the store, I ain't look. Hey, I'm in a relationship. I'm talking about back in the day when I used to
Yeah.
go in the store. I ain't looking at the regular man. Where is the manager? I ain't got time for nobody regular, motherfucker. Like no, like
Hey,
no.
boy, stop capping. Stop capping. We know you have a side piece. You try to catch yourself. You were just talking.
Look,
Don't do
hey, look.
no, don't do that in my panel. Boy, stop acting as a good, honest man.
Wholesome family man. But look,
Hey, well, girl, stop capping. Okay?
hey, look, we talking about some other people, right? But this ain't for me. But I'm just saying, though, I know, like, come on, that gang, like, you already know, like, you going in places looking at the manager.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, now, on some play, like, on some player shit, but you might go in there looking at the worker if they attract your eye, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they real.
Just for some fun.
But you really going there looking for the manager. Like you ain't really going there telling me, you like, are you the manager? You like, no, I stopped. Oh no, I can't do nothing.
I mean, but naturally, if it's a man that's working for Burger King company and he's
Right.
in a managerial position, region manager, district manager,
Hey,
I
Jim, I'm with you.
I know that all of us would be okay with that. But this topic came about because for this was a conversational piece for
Hmm.
me because I was thinking about um, you know, something that Kevin Samuels has said one time. He said this many times, and he was just talking about he compared black women to like Hispanic women and how their man could be, working at Burger King or
Thanks.
um, he could be making like minimum wage or
Yeah, I heard him say that. Yeah,
just
yeah,
like mediocre money. This
yeah,
could be a whole grown man
yeah,
and he's married and his wife will
yeah.
still treat him like the king that
But how do we know this if we're not in the Mexican community? Like I'm not with the Mexicans every day to see what they doing. Like if they may argue every day that he don't got no job. She may let him stay there, but they still may argue every day that
Yeah.
he work at
Because they
McDonald's
take
or
care
whatever.
of Yeah, because they take care of their problem within the family. They don't go to the therapist. They don't go in the street. They take care of it within the family. When you look at them, they're
Yeah,
very
but
family
see,
oriented.
yeah, but taking care of it within a family sometimes may be stressful because you holding it all in and you really ready to let it go on this
No, you
ten
don't have to
thousand.
hold it in. That's what I was trying to say. You have to. There's always somebody in the family because the families can be
Mm-hmm.
large. There's always
Yeah,
somebody who is a moderator in the family. There's always somebody either in your family or your wife's family. There's always somebody, and that's
right.
why you have to know each other. And that's the person that you're going to vent to. You don't keep it in. You
Right.
don't act like you're so proud to beg. No, that's why it's within the family. We even have a saying here that says, and I think the French took it and everything, that the dirty laundry you wash it within the family. You see, and the family spirit is very important. You see, I mean that's the key, especially in America. If you have the white people that you see, the
Mm-hmm.
rich ones, their families, the people that actually run America, the so-called white supremacists, they are
Right.
families. They are
Mm.
That's
families.
fact.
When you look at it, they are families. Look at this thing in South Carolina. This guy lawyer that his wife and his kid got shot, and he pretended I mean, I'm not saying pretended, but he says he had been shot and everything. The murders in South Carolina. It's a big family, like 100-year-old big lawyer family, and they're
Yeah.
talking about corruption in the police because his son killed somebody and got away with it and
I
everything. But
mean, yeah,
you know,
but see, you talking about something like that that's financially fueled. You get what I'm saying? We're going to keep
yeah,
that in because, I mean, I'm getting $1 million a year. I don't care who got killed. They didn't kill me. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, when you
yeah,
talking
but
about
it's not only about money
corruption and
because
crime, that's different. That's
yeah,
different from
it's not.
family.
Yeah, but it's not
That's
only
money.
about money. Because if you have a big family, and if the family is extended, like the husband and the wife, you have brothers, sisters, uncle, whatever. Whatever happens to one member of the family, everybody else is going to be behind that person. And it's not a matter of money. It's a matter of all those people putting their own energy to help that person that's going to save that person. It's not just money. You know, the family I'm telling you about is unraveling right now because there's been too many murders associated with them.
You talking about in America, right?
Yes.
So the thing
I'm talking about America.
The thing.
And I think there's some big black families in America too. We don't hear about them because the media is controlled by a certain group of people.
Right.
Okay. And those people have a certain narrative that they want to sell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know, you got what, 4 or 5 big media company in America. Okay.
Right.
You have Jeff Zuckerberg and the other guy, Jeff Bezos, you know, Zuckerberg and Bezos, they bought a bunch of shares in so they control the narratives. You know, the only way you can get some kind of independent news is on the local level. And on the local level, you have local families controlling those media. But you don't have, like, for instance, 2 or 3 big media groups that belong to African Americans. You don't have it. But it's not just because of white supremacy. Like I was saying earlier, there's only 40 million people that identify as African, or that are identified in the census as African American. And you know that within those 40 million people, the ones that really feel like they're Black Americans, maybe 20, half of them, because, you know, you're going to have a quarter of them that want to identify with white people, but they look too black, or identify with other places. But the ones that really feel like, okay, we're proud to be Black African Americans,
yeah,
maybe about 20 million. So if you take 20 million people and you take about a family unit of 3 or 4 people, that's only about 5 or 6 million households.
Yeah, but the American African American community is too broken to be telling your family your business.
Exactly.
But that's the problem. It needs to come back together. Let's mend it.
Nah, you can't fix that because they still gonna be in your business telling everybody. See, the black, I'm saying it's just like, it just won't happen because you're gonna have that one person and still be like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm still gonna tell everybody. Like,
Martin Luther King, his family.
Let me say something. Baratiki, the thing about it is this: you're speaking from another cultural aspect of family values. Like, I personally, you know, don't remember Black families in America being the way that you're describing it. You know what I mean? It's just not our culture. I'm looking at the chat right now and I'm seeing some of the ladies saying that they would never tell people in their family their business. It's because it's not going to stay in the family. And I know that for a fact myself. It's things that I confided in certain family members in my family, and it will go outside of the family. So it's just not that for us over here in America. I don't know where the breakdown came and, you know, why it came or if it was ever like that, because I'm saying to you all that I've never seen it like that myself in all the years that I've been living.
But yeah, see, the thing is, they say it's from some weird shit. They say the breakdown of the black household happened when they came with like food stamps and shit like that. But that ain't where it came from. See, it really came from when they was locking black men up for no reason. Family don't know where you at. Wife think you're gone. You ain't gone. You've been in prison for 4 years because you done jaywalked. You get what I'm saying? And on some weird shit. But they try to make it like, oh no, shit, food stamps and shit did it. Like, nah, it's when y'all was kidnapping people allegedly.
Exactly. Especially with the drug laws and all of that took some guys who were like maybe young, you know, in their 20s, dealing a little bit of dope and everything, not too much.
And then
trying
they
to
was,
make ends meet.
yeah, that
And they had
too.
a little family. And the reason why
Right.
they were dealing is because they had little kids that they wanted to feed and stuff. Then
Right.
they caught those people with like an ounce of wheat and throw him in the jail for 3 years. The girlfriend with the baby is right here by herself. What do you want her to do? She is gonna have to go get those foods or government assistant things, to feed the baby. And that, I agree with the boy stop capping, because that was the beginning of this destruction. That's why I think it started in the 80s. Because when you look at Jesse Jackson's family, even Malcolm X, who was assassinated, his family still kind of remains solid to this day. And there's a lot of Black American family. I know some families in America that people don't know about, Black American that are solid, still married, still the big family unit and everything. But you don't see them on
But that's
television. You
rare.
don't hear about them on social media. And these
That's
people
rare.
exist. They exist in
Yeah,
America.
of course they
You
exist.
know,
But it's rare, and
yeah, they're rare.
you
They're
was
rare, but they're not. They're not. I think they may make up about 20% of the households. One in five.
we
One in
can't.
five. I don't believe that the majority is totally broken. But the
It's
thing
rare.
is,
It's super rare. It's
well,
like,
1 in 5 is rare. That means that
man,
4 out of 5 are not
But
that.
you can't
You know,
even
if you
start talking about statistics because you don't have the statistics. You just pulling that out your ass
Yeah,
right.
I'm pulling. I don't have the I don't have the what's his name? I don't have the Kevin Samuel statistics,
Right. You can't even
but
start doing that right now. You just
but I think it's about 20%, because it's just not that bad. Because let's see how many Black people are in jail right now. Okay, they're talking about maybe 1 million or 1.5 million. I mean, come on,
hey,
that's
can
not so
can
bad.
can you name one family that's like low key, everybody doing good, an affluential family that's like low key known, like just say a family of lawyers somewhere in South Carolina or Atlanta or some shit like that, where like from the granddaddy on down, from the littlest kid, everybody is molded to be lawyers or judges or some shit like that. You get what I'm saying? I
I'm
can't
sure
name
they
one off the
are.
top of my head, but I'm sure it's plenty.
I'm sure there are, but not that many. But I'm sure
But
there
they
is.
but they
I
only
mean,
but they're only known locally.
yeah, yeah.
They're
But
only known locally.
most of the families are known locally. I mean, it doesn't matter. You don't need to be known nationally. If locally you have a good family unit, then you have a legacy that goes on. When you look
No,
at
I
Johnny
got to be
Cochran,
known
Johnny, Co-
nationally. I got to be known all over. I can't just be known in Chicago. I got to be known in
well,
California, Africa, New Zealand, all type of shit.
but
okay. Yeah,
one of the
you're
things I
right.
want to touch on when Boy Stop Capping was talking about, and I'm gonna let you talk, Barrett. Because you talk a lot. Like you gotta let us talk too, honey. the Boy
I
Stop.
think that Maureen wanted to get on, Tish.
Maureen, you want to
I
get on?
saw a message. Maureen wants to get on. I
If
think you can add
Maureen, you
like
want to get on,
six people.
I'll put the link in the chat because I do want some women on here with me now.
Yeah, but Maureen, she was telling you that she's in the back room. She was telling you, she sent you a message saying that she was.
No, there's no message back there. But more Boy Stop Capping. You were mentioning the breakdown in the family. You know that came during the food stamp era when they were putting Black men
In
basically
jail.
no out the household.
Right.
They
They
were
was
putting
kidnapping them allegedly.
right out the household because if the black man was in the household, then the woman couldn't get the food stamps, the welfare, and all that kind of stuff. But what I wasn't talking about that type of breakdown. I was talking about the breakdown as the whole family. And just think about the movie Soul Food. When
Okay.
think about the movie Soul Food, when families they depicted black families in America as being more together. Like every Sunday after church or every Sunday, they would always get together. And our culture, I believe we got together around amongst food, like food
Facts.
together. Like we don't see families doing that anymore. So I'm saying when I was talking about the breakdown, I was talking about that breakdown, like what happened where.
Okay, yeah. See, with that breakdown right there, grandma died. Or grandma may be sick where it can't even the functions can't happen no more. Or grandma, like what Tiki said, grandma is the family. Like that's the one you telling, like, hey, you know, so and so took that 5 from me. Like, you know what I'm saying? She, oh no, leave that shit alone, huh? Here go 5, here go 10. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all just be cool with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We sticking together, just like on Big Mama's house. I mean, like you said, what's that big movie you just said? What's the movie? Soul Food, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had people sleeping with people's husbands.
Yeah.
There was tough blow only because grandma was still alive. That's why people really ain't talk about it like that because they knew better. You know what I'm saying? Even though all this was going on, you knew better than talk about it while she was still alive. You see, when she passed away, everything crumbled.
Yeah, yeah.
It really went down the hill.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When she passed away, everything died.
When Big Mama died, you know, it's almost as if the extended family, the children, the grandchildren, the nieces, the nephews, the cousins, the uncles, and all that, they just got away from that togetherness. It's like,
no, it's because when she passed away, that was the glue. And we now, all the stuff she been telling us to leave alone, ain't nobody here to tell us to leave alone. So now it's nigga fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now I ain't even messing with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want to see you no more. I only came around you because grandma was alive. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really wasn't trying to, like, be around you for real.
You don't think that, so it's basically the people that is left in the family after Big Mama died, like you said, they wasn't really trying to fuck with you anyway.
Facts.
So,
and think about it, the people that's doing good in the family, but I quote unquote, I ain't trying to go down there and fuck with y'all trifling ass, but grandma alive, so I'm coming. You get what I'm saying? I'm doing better than y'all. Y'all still in the hood. I really ain't trying to be down here. Grandma passed away. Y'all never see me again type shit.
Right. We got Jill. We got Jill on the panel. What would you want to say, Jill?
Okay. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome. So my thing was, listen, a lot of breaking down when it's broken. You just said that, boy, stop. Because there's so many secrets and bad secrets.
Right.
Grandma and grandpa and uncles wouldn't allow us to speak on, which caused broken our age children who was raped, molested, all types of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you weren't able to talk about that stuff. It was shh and just quiet. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, which caused dysfunctional families.
So
a lot of things that went on back in those days, you know, it became the you know, and you had to feel, you know, I've known a lot of people who've been through that, and they carried that on to their children, you know, them raising their own children, and living through the pain. And then that's what caused the breakdown of, you know, a husband and a wife. And could you imagine you with this man of your life? You have such a secret like that you ashamed to even talk about. And so how do you focus? And you know what? Some women just become stronger at it, but they're still broken.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you can't carry on as a functional human should. You know what I mean? Kind of like maybe I'm saying it wrong, but that's where, from slavery to you trying to get your life back. How do we build a family? Because you got families who've been separated and lost. They don't even have their birth certificates and don't know their real age. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things happen and they still have us in prison. They started putting in locking us up and came out with welfare. All of those are still forms of slavery to try to brainwash, you know what I mean, to keep us from thriving. You don't have some kind of foundation that is solid. I see here for the T-set, her family filled with doctors, lawyers, and all this stuff. A lot of Black families don't have those kind of success stories.
No, we don't. They don't. A lot of us don't have the Bill Cosby story. You know what I'm saying? The Claire Huxtable and the Huxtable family story or whatever. Not Bill Cosby, but the Huxtable story.
Exactly.
And the secrecy thing is real in the Black community. I mean, I know for me, like, there were secrets in my family that I found out about when I was a teenager, and it like blew my mind that nobody talked about these things until certain family members died.
Yeah.
And that's when it comes out. It's like, oh, so now that Big Mama's gone, we can talk about this?
I mean, yeah, because she's the judge, the jury, and the executioner. So yeah, we can talk about it now, because we all know Uncle Terry, he touched little Melissa 5 years ago. Everybody know it, but we can't talk about it because Big Mama hid.
Okay, but now that we have,
that hurt the community. That hurt the community really bad, because you know why? Which was so crazy, you hit it because you're ashamed. What about that child? That wasn't even about you. You was just ashamed.
Hey,
that wasn't even about you. That was about that child or that boy, that little girl or that little boy.
Right.
So but now that we know that, now that we know all of these, and we have these new tools, which used to be the radio, the newspaper. Now we have cell phones. We have YouTube channels. Why don't we have more people making positive channels where maybe we can talk about the dysfunctional attributes of Black families a little bit, but we should talk more about the possibilities and the good families that are here. But all I see is negative. You see the female, the big YouTubers, they keep on bashing men. You got the red pill guy that say, okay, we're going to Colombia. You don't need to go to Colombia to find a wife. You can find a good Black woman in America. I'm convinced of it. I've been going to America. I've been going to America since the early 80s. How many years is that? 40 years. Okay. I've been traveling regularly to the United States. And to many states. Maybe I don't live there, but I know you can find good, decent, honorable, non-table twerking, wonderful, educated Black women in America. For instance,
everybody twerks, no matter the income level.
Wait, just because she twerk don't mean she's.
We got 80-years that twerk.
No, I'm talking about table twerking. I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Twerking is nothing. It's just a move. But going to a restaurant and jumping on the table or on the seat and starting to twerk, I mean, that's the behavior that is unacceptable. What I'm saying is there are wonderful, clean, respectable Black women in America. So I don't agree with those manosphere people saying that, okay, there's no more Black women, let's go to Colombia, Africa, whatever. Now, there are some single American women here that in America that want husbands. They are. They are, and Kevin Samuels. That's why he's got so many people, because there's so many. That's what we call the silent majority. You got a minority that's making a bunch of noise because they're the first ones to understand that YouTube was a good tool. They had nothing to do. They were twiddling their thumbs, so they did YouTube channels, and it worked because YouTube is paying you monetize. My channel is not monetized. I have a channel. I have a lot of views, but I never thought about monetizing it because my channel is just, I did it for entertainment and education. I wanted to show pictures of Africa to some of my people that I know that are not in my country, but are from Senegal. And they always wanted to say, oh, what's going on over there? You know, wanted to see. So if you go on my channel, you will see I have videos showing all the new investment being done. You know, I drive around the city so that those people can have an idea of what's going on, because they're all over the world. They're in China, Asia, everything. And YouTube is a good tool because no matter where you are, you can share videos. Okay, and photography is one of my hobbies. You know, photography is taking pictures and video. So that's why I did it. And I get messages from YouTube sometimes telling me you can monetize if you want. Maybe I'll do it, but I don't do it for the monetization. You see, I get more pleasure when I see a lot of people watching it and saying, yeah, thank you, man. I wanted to know what's going on. Because some of the people, when they go overseas, they don't come back. You know, some people have been, you know, in Australia for 30 years. You know, they have the children, they never came back. So they don't know what the country looks like. And that's why I'm doing this, because mainstream media is not going to show you the good part of Africa. They're only going to show you the bad part. So that that's why a lot of Black people that in the Caribbean or in Europe or in America who are of African descent, you know, like African Americans, etc., they don't want to hear anything about Africa, because all the information is a negative information. And I know it, because when I visit those countries, I only get negative information. So you think that Africa is always struggling, but Africa is a huge continent. I mean, it's bigger than the US, China, Europe, Asia, all combined. So obviously you're gonna have some hotspots. I mean, I went to America, in California. I went to a place, I think it was a reservation, but what I saw there was terrible. Total slums, and they're independent. In California, they have casinos now, you know, because they have the right to do casinos, so they have a little bit of money. But you go there, the roads are not paved. They live in shacks. Okay, I was lucky because I was with somebody who's like Native American, and that's how I got in. But they even have their own police. They don't let anybody go in. So that's why, you know, the media doesn't show you that. Even in East St. Louis, I went to East St. Louis. There are spots in East St. Louis that are scary. I mean, you know, mostly Black people living there. But I'm like, what kind of conditions are these in America? It's just not acceptable. But it's just because those people are left to their own devices. I don't know if some of you have been to East St. Louis, but East St. Louis, just across the river from St. Louis, some of the worst neighborhood in America. You know, and I hear that they shoot each other every night and all that kind of stuff. There's no family there. There's no family. I mean, they just contain. It's like a reservation for Black people. You know what I mean? And America is a country.
Could I ask you
America,
a question?
Baratiki, let
yes.
Jill say something. Jill want to say something.
I'm listening.
So okay, because you know what? There's issues all over the world. Okay.
Exactly.
I'm about to say that. We killing each other here. They're killing each other everywhere. Foolishness, rituals, spiritual, all types of stuff going on all over the world. And it doesn't get public, televisionized as it is here in America.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of stuff going on everywhere where it's Black people, doing this. Be clear, it's not just here in America.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, everybody knows that America has a very high level of crime. I mean, that's known. In Africa, you have maybe
the countries. I'm just trying to say, it's not only we're not the only. I'm just saying it's like
yeah, but we're not gonna compete about the body count. What I'm trying to say is that in America, in the media, because American people are very media oriented people. Every time you see people talk, they say, "Oh, you remember just like the movie." Just like people like to go to the movie. It's a cultural thing. You guys like to watch television. You guys like to go to the movies. And when you go watch a movie or you watch a series on TV, for you it's reality. But that's just a fantasy. Even reality TV is scripted. And that's the thing that people need to get to wean themselves out of. Even Kevin Samuel sometimes on his shows, he takes and he makes reference to a movie. He takes a movie as an example. That shows you that you guys, American, you guys are totally brainwashed by the screen, by television, by movies and stuff. You need and obviously, if you're Black American, you only live in America, you're gonna think that Africa is a piece of shit. Okay, I agree. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not saying that Africa doesn't have any problem, but what I'm saying is that now that we have these tools, and we know, like you, Jill, you know, Stop Capping knows. I think that Tish, what she's doing is cool. She's doing some nice thing, cooking, the hair and everything. You see, she's not getting a lot of traction because people like to watch the negative. But if more people make channels and take some time out of their day, especially people who are sitting at home, are not doing anything, you can try to use your creativity a little bit and produce some content that's going to be positive. Okay, a positive content out there for the young people, so that hopefully within another 25 years we're going to be in a better position when it comes to Black America than today. And what I'm telling you is that right now it's too negative. What I see on YouTube, on Instagram, it's too negative. I mean, Instagram, what do you see on Instagram? Pictures of people, okay, always taking a picture showing the bottom. I don't understand this obsession that American women now have with, you have to wear a top and have a huge V showing your cleavage. What's the deal with this?
I mean, you know what they made? I mean, listen, you know what America is made of now? It's like this. Okay, listen, they not gonna let you like take off. Like, you get what I'm saying? So this is what they're gonna allow you to do in their country. They're gonna allow you to get you some money and stay out the way.
Here's the thing.
Take it or leave it.
But when you say their country, it's not their country. Black Americans have just as much claim to this country, if not more, than anybody else.
I mean,
you have to understand that.
Exactly, but who we gonna complain to? The same people that's oppressing us?
No, but that's why
we complain to the same people. Right? The people. Listen, when I fill out a police report against the police, I have to hand it to the police.
The same
exactly,
and the same people that oppress me.
Yes, but whether the police is black or white, it's going to be the same thing. When I was in America, like one time I visited in America, I was driving from Chicago, the airport, and I wanted to go to Columbus, Ohio. Okay, I got pulled over by a black guy. He gave me the worst time ever in America. A black trooper. I think he was in Ohio or something, and he was a piece of shit. He pulled me over at 3:00 in the morning, then had me drive for an hour to his station to pay a $300 fine because he said I was speeding, even though I slowed down when I saw him because he had pulled over somebody. But he said, no, I'm going to pull these guys over. And when he pulled me over, he had me put my hand, I was with somebody else. He had us put the hand out of the window for like 30 minutes. Okay? He was a piece of shit. But that was the guy. It was a black guy, policeman, okay? State trooper, whatever. But the women that I met in America, they were all nice to me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So even if you control, if you still have the same kind of system, in other words, you still have the same laws, those cops are going to take advantage of it. They're going to be abusing. Okay, you've seen the picture of those cops that were beating that black woman in Georgia. If nobody filmed it, those cops wouldn't have been kicked out.
Yeah, that's true. That's because somebody was there and filmed it.
Exactly. So it's not just a matter of white people. What I'm trying to tell you is like black Americans who believe in themselves, okay? And stop talking about white supremacy. The law is here. We know that exists,
No,
but
it's
it
still
doesn't
white
mean.
supremacy, bro. Listen, let me tell you something,
Yeah, but you
right?
have to fight it. You have to fight it.
You
You
can't.
see, and you don't have to talk about it. You don't have to talk about
Hey,
it. You have to
I'm gonna
learn
tell
the
you why
game
you can't
and
fight it.
beat them at the game.
I'm about to mute y'all because
Uh,
I think we kind of getting off topic here. I mean, it's good talking points and everything, but we kind of getting off topic. So Baratiki was saying something about initially about how we should start putting more positive things on the internet and things like that. And I think that you were mentioning that because that would tie into the black families being more together and seeing more positivity and things like that. But here's the thing about putting positivity on the internet. Unfortunately, that's not what people want to see. Like here for the T said in the chat, I read something that she said when she was posting a lot of drama and negative stuff on her channel, she was getting more views, super chats, cash apps, and all of that. This is what people want to see. They don't what I don't get as much traction as I feel like I should get from my cooking shows and cooking videos and all the positivity that I put out here on my YouTube channel. But like I said earlier, I guarantee you, if I decided that I was going to make videos and have men call in to the panel and I start bashing men and asking them their income and their pant size or their shirt size and all that, and they start telling me, well, I make $35,000 a year and I'm 5'5" and I'm 275 pounds. And I get up here and I say, oh, so you a broke, short, fat fuck.
mm-hmm.
Right.
Hey, let's say, hey, I'm gonna keep it real. I will support you. You know why? Because you are a boss, and you got the right to say that to
No, but reality is, y'all, reality is some people are hurting and they rather watch somebody else drama than worry about their own. Some people like stuff like
Yes,
that because
yes, I agree.
they don't want to focus on what's going on in their world. So, you know, they rather watch somebody else go through the drama. You know what I'm saying?
But
And that's
I
why
think that Tish should do it. I
Yeah,
think that
I
she
would
should
come
do that
every night.
just to get she should do that for like 6 months just to get the viewership in, to pull the people in and then start slowly, sliding in the positive message because you have to be strategic.
You got
It's just like
you definitely have
yeah,
to be strategic.
you
And
have to be strategic.
I totally agree with you when you say if it was more positive messages out on these type of platforms, it would spill over into the black families because the thing about it is our generation, the generation under us, they are heavily influenced by the things they see on social media, television and things like that. And the other thing I wanted to point out too, what you were saying in terms of the things that you put on your channel for us to see that's positive about in Africa. That's
Hey,
in Africa. You do that so that we can see positive things. Jill made a point also. I'm gonna bring it all in. So you were saying that basically the images and the thoughts that we as people over here in America have of Africa is negative, right? And that's because of what's being depicted on TV and has been depicted on TV since I was a little girl. Since I was a little girl, I always thought of Africa as a poor place, a place that I would never want to go to. You know what I mean? So now Jill made a point when she said that um, the things that we're seeing on TV in America, as far as crime is concerned, we're not seeing that being televised for other countries. So of course it looks like it's happening more in America, but when in actuality it's not. It's just because that's what's being portrayed to us on TV. The same way it was being portrayed to us over here in America that Africa is a poor place, and why would we want to go there to visit or live or whatever the case may be? It's all about what's being put in front of us, in front of our eyes, what we're looking at and what we're listening to. It's the music, it's television,
Right.
it's the media, it's all of the above. So I would have to say that I disagree when you say that when you know talk about the crime in the U.S. and in America. I believe that it's the same amount of crime going on everywhere. We just can't see it because it's
Well,
not
no,
hot.
because I have to stop you there, because for crime is very simple. Most big cities in Africa, a woman can walk outside at 2 o'clock in the morning to go home, and nothing is going to happen to her. That's not the case in America. See, that the crime thing is known, and you know why? It's because of the bully culture of America. We've seen what they've done. I mean, they go overseas, they tell you that there is a reason to go, and they kill a bunch of people.
You can click off
And
if the audio sucks. I'm sorry that the audio sucks, but you can click off. You don't have to keep watching. All right, go ahead. I'm listening.
okay, who was that? The audio sucks. Thomas King. Oh, what a crazy dude.
I don't know who
So
that is.
yeah, but and so that's the thing, you know, those are realities. But that's not what I was trying to do. I was not trying to compare. The thing is that somebody was saying that we don't have the same culture. That's true, and that's why I was trying to say you guys love to watch TV and movies and stuff. You see, in Africa, the governments, they don't try to sell their countries through the media. You know, America is a country that is the best country in the world for marketing. You know, if you want a good marketing company, you go to America. They know how to sell things. See, that's why everybody in America wants to buy stuff. That's why the advertising business is strongest in America than anywhere in the West, in the world. That's why everybody in the world looks up to America, because America knows how to sell itself.
Yeah.
Right.
You
They
see,
about
that's the
that
thing.
money.
But
That's what it is. It's about the money. And they want to be,
yes, it's about the money. But you
so
see, I'm telling you, in Africa, the government, they don't make any effort trying to sell themselves. They don't do it. Even the journalists, even the culture is not that. So that's why they don't make movies trying to show that everybody is beautiful. In America, in the 50s, when they wanted to sell the car in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, they wanted to sell the suburban life. They wanted to sell the car, the housewife, washing machine. They made a bunch of movies. If you watch those movies, you would think that America is all wonderful.
Right.
But obviously it's not. And they would put black people in a box. They would put black people in a bad role. Even though black people have been among the brightest American from the beginning of America.
Yeah.
Even when slavery was going on, there were black people who were not slaves in America. You see, but people don't know it, because the people who are controlling the media, most of them have European ancestry, and they don't want to give no shine to African people.
I mean, the thing
But
about
I'm telling you,
the
when
one-
they come to Africa, they're very humble. So that's why sometimes I listen to some of the guys on YouTube, you know, saying that white supremacy is everywhere, even in Africa. They don't know. They've never lived in Africa. I'm telling you, those white people, when they
there's
come
no
to Africa,
white
because they,
supremacy in Africa, is what you're saying.
no, I'm not saying that. White supremacy, you have to define it. Okay? The economic control still exists everywhere, but it's not just white people. There are black people also involved. You see
Of
what I'm
course.
saying?
We
You know,
know
I can
that.
go into let me give you an example. For instance, when some African American went to Africa, They went to Liberia. Why? Because Liberia was the number one rubber source of the world. And there was a company called Firestone, which is still there, that owned all the plantation. So they took some black people here. They say, okay, we're going to give you a country called Liberia, black Americans. And those people went there, okay, and they were running the plantations so that the product can be sent to America, because America was living in the car culture. They needed rubber for the industry and all that kind of stuff. And Liberia to this day is the biggest producer of rubber in the world. Now you have some Asian countries that are producing also, and it's synthetic rubber, which is artificial rubber made out of petroleum. But the natural rubber coming from the tree, which is the best one, is still coming from Liberia. What happened in Liberia? You heard about the war there. It was because the natives were treated worse than slaves by black people coming from America. And so the native one day, they say, fuck it, we're sick and tired of this shit. That's what started the war there. Okay, so you have to know those things. It's just because it's a cultural thing. Americans tend to be bullies, and that's what they've been doing. Look at Afghanistan. They stayed there for 20 years, destroy a bunch of shit, wasted a lot of American money that could have been used to build East St. Louis and provide jobs here. Okay, they wasted it because, you know, you buy a missile, cost $2 million, you know, for a piece of shit that maybe doesn't even hit it, the target. They spent trillions. They're the ones saying it. They spent $1.8 trillion. I mean, come on, that's an enormous amount of money to leave just like that. I mean, American people should be the one complaining about this. Black people pay taxes. They should be like, what the fuck did you do with our money?
Okay, this is what I'm saying is that you speak on a lot of things, but we do complain. You have to live here to know. And who, as one thing is, boy, Cap already said, you complaining to who?
Exactly.
Who you complaining to the very same own that is doing all the nonsense. So
Exactly.
Oppressing and who has the money. So what I'm saying is things you speaking on, if you live here, you will know more in detail of we do. And it seemed like we should have a lot of power and a lot of voices, and we do, but who's listening? Because it's all
you have to use social media. You have to use social media.
And they shut you down too.
But you have to do it strategically. If you come on a platform that is owned by certain people, you can't just come front, you know, I mean, straight up like that. You have to be smart. It's like when we were talking about Tish, she can start doing like panels and you know, come up with a script like Kevin Samuel, but flip it with guys, you know, and then she's gonna start getting a lot of people starting watching, and then she can slowly, you know, spice in some positive content. Once she get to like 100,000 subscribers, or like regularly 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 view per video, then every once in a while she can have a video about cooking. People are gonna watch because they're used to watching the channel. And that's how you do it. When the white people came to Africa in the beginning, okay, they didn't come and say, we're going to capture slaves. Because first of all, there was a small amount of people. It was very difficult to travel in those days. We're talking about hundreds of years ago. They were in small wooden boats. And so it would take months for them to come to the coast of Africa. And they would need to replenish the supplies, like, you know, drinking water, food and stuff. And so that's how they started coming. Like, okay, we're thirsty, and the local would, you know, let them get some water and stuff like that. And then they started putting little campsites, you know, because, you know, they had other ships coming. And that's how the first people who were coming, they say, wow, these people are living good. They have money, they have things, they have everything. And then when they would go back to Europe, they would make a report and say, look, man, you know, that's the El Dorado over there. Those people are very naive. They're very, you know, they're stupid, generous and stuff. We need to go there and take over. That's how it started, because Europe is very small. You can take all of, I'm telling you, all of Western Europe, you can put it in Mali. or into Zaire. In one country, you can take the whole of Western Europe and look at how many people live there. So they used to live in very crowded condition, and they had a very tough system, social system, because they had the king and everybody else didn't count. You had the king and the people who work with the king, and everybody else was worse than a slave, was just nobody. I mean, you had to till the land, to work it, and to give it to the king. He could kill you, he could, whatever. So that's the culture of Europe.
Tish,
So
will your
so
chin back in, girl?
what I'm trying to say is that you have to
Tiki, hold on one second. We got here for the tea on here, and I think she wants to say something. So,
okay.
Hey guys, hey Tish, hey everybody. I wanted to speak to when Beryl Tiki says something about Black Americans need to kind of, I don't know if he used the word forget, but it was something to the effect of like work together and figure it out, something like that, against like our oppressors. Like, it's not that simple. And if it was that simple, I think we would have done it a long time ago. So I just don't like even with this whole critical race theory thing that's happening in the schools. They're trying to ban, well, they are in Texas. They just made a law last week stating that they don't want teachers teaching about slavery anymore in the classroom. Yeah, this law was passed last week in Texas. So it's kind of like they're trying to erase American history, because slavery is a part of American history.
Absolutely.
And I have a problem with someone telling me or anybody that's connected to me or my ancestors to forget about what happened to them. No, I have a problem with that. And then it's like, if our kids are going to school, our Black kids are going to school, and they don't have the education of how Black people were treated in this country, how our ancestors were treated when they got over here in this country, and how we're still being treated unfairly. When our I have 2 Black sons. When my Black sons grow up and they don't have education, which their dad are gonna teach them, but if they don't have that education in the school, like just give them something, how are they going to understand when they grow up and become Black men in corporate America or whatever, career that they choose? They're going to be confused as to why the white man is getting paid more money than they are, if they don't know the history behind, why they're being treated that way. With the same education and everything else, as a Black person in this country, our people need to know, our kids need to know why that is. And if they don't know, how can they move along in life? They need to know the reasons why these things are happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. So it's easy to say, oh, let's do this and do that, but we still
that's
have to
why family
educate
is
our kids.
important.
They need to know why these things are happening.
Yeah,
Period.
that's why family is important. The information has to be spread by the parent. They have to teach the kids. No matter what they tell, I mean, they're going to do what they want because they're the majority. I was telling you earlier the numbers. So I saw that in Texas, they decided that we're not going to talk about it.
How do we get families to get to that point again? You know what I'm saying?
Well, at least everybody who has children needs to teach what she was saying. The history of America need to be taught to the children. You have to do it. You don't just leave it to the end at the hands of the school. Yeah, you have to make an effort.
How do we get parents to be on one accord with that? You understand what I'm saying? Like the generation the generation today is not like the generation before us. They're not even thinking about history and what happened to Americans.
Yes, that's sad, man.
They're not even thinking about those things. So how do we continue that, because us that's on this panel, our generation, we're going to die out soon. And then, so
Yep.
what's going to happen then? So I hear what you're saying, that the parents got to teach the children this, and that, and the third. But how do we get that? How do we make that happen?
Well, let's get more Tariq Nasheed types. He did his part. He's a little bit biased also. He's a little bit limited in his knowledge. We need more people like that. I think that Kevin Samuels is doing a good job where he's trying to get black men and black women together. That's good.
I agree. I think that he's doing a good job as well. However, we definitely need more platforms like that with millions of subscribers, because one person with a platform like that is not enough.
Yep, something can happen. He can have an accident, get sick, and everything.
The bottom line is, like we said before, people like negativity. People like the fuck shit. People don't want to sit up there. Like, we got 18 people looking right now. There should be way more people watching this right now. You know what I'm saying? I have close to 3,000 subscribers. Where are y'all? You understand what I'm saying? Where is everyone?
Can I say
Maybe
something
they
about
don't have
Kevin Samuels?
Go ahead. Here for the tea.
Okay, let me say this about Kevin Samuels. I think that Kevin Samuels is so successful and so popular. And I agree with a lot that he says, a lot of it. It's just his delivery I don't agree with. But I think that Kevin Samuels is so popular and successful because he trashes black women. And black women are the least protected people in this country, in the world, basically. So I think that's why they allow him to be so successful, because he makes the black woman look like this terrible person.
Yeah.
So that's why he's so successful. That's my opinion.
And they allow that. That's something. What I'm trying to say is no matter how, we could be cooking, we could spit positive messages. People don't want to watch that. I on my channel, I have a positive Friday. No one wants to do, which I'm fine with, because I'm not here. I ain't gonna be doing all that stuff to sell.
Exactly.
I'm not selling my soul. I want to continue encouraging and show that there is something better. Maybe one day I will catch on fire, but I'm not going to catch on fire by disrespecting my people. I am not going to catch on fire by disrespecting myself. And I have children, and they're older. People don't think your children are going to be watching this stuff, years to come. This stuff don't get erased unless they get shut down. But you know how much videos travel all around. People repost on Facebook and all that stuff. And you just want something positive out there and not always negative. And you know what? That doesn't always sell, but the success, somebody's listening. Somebody's watching. And it's just that you don't see the results or the views just yet. But trust me, it works. But it's just that you don't get that kind of fast attraction that you want. And that's the problem. You looking for something to be so quick. No one's success happened quick. I mean, Oprah and all these big successors, Tyler Perry, look where he started from, lost it all. And he's there now. That didn't, it didn't happen overnight. We just it seemed like it happened overnight because we didn't watch him from his beginning. You get what I'm saying? All we know is that he came out with this play, it was a hit, and bam, here he goes. But we weren't there for his struggle. Where he got where he is, it's about earning, and that's more respect than anything can hold. And that's what our children needs to see. That you got to start and work from the ground on up. There ain't nothing going to just stick in your lap. You
Mhm.
got to work for it. I don't
Absolutely.
care. You know, some people lucked up. Some people do get lucky, you know, and become a millionaire overnight. But
Mhm.
that don't happen. Look at B Love.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
She worked. Everybody just look at the flashy stuff, but not the grind.
Exactly.
But not the grind. There's a grind.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
don't just get that stuff and just drop in your lap, and then you
Hey,
want
B
to.
Love definitely grinded, gang.
There's a grind, and you
Yes.
have
Yeah.
to grind. You can't just
Mhm.
that stuff ain't gonna just go bam. Here you go. Ain't nobody, especially in this. I don't care, black, white, Chinese. I don't care what color you are. Some do have pulls and connection than others. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You know what they do? They stick together though. Those
Yep.
people who are certain, they keep that money in that circle. That's why they remain outcast. You know what I mean? They shine and keep that money where it is. See, we don't know how to do that. We don't know how to take our money and build together. Because
We
we too
don't.
busy looking at you got more than me. Same thing with subscribers on the YouTube stream. Oh, you got more subscribers, you got more. Why y'all worrying about that? Don't worry about the views, don't worry about the money, don't worry about none of that stuff. If you have a purpose,
Mm.
each one of us have a purpose.
Mhm.
If we have a purpose, and it may not catch on today. It
But
may not catch on
but
tomorrow, but it will.
but it will. I was just talking to my cousin about that this morning. Jill. I think they were. Are you asking what's Jill channel's name? Her channel is Jill's Comfort Zone. Jill's Comfort Zone.
You gotta put the work in. Listen, we weren't fortunate to run into things and just have money plop.
Exactly. I was just talking to my cousin about that this morning, and we was just saying how, you know, my channel lately I've been doing mostly like cooking on the channel or whatever, and
Mhm.
I like to look at people like Tabitha Brown and MJ Harris and stuff like that. And Tabitha Brown, her channel has only been around for about 3 years,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
she told her story about how when she first started doing her videos, she would have like 5 people in the chat, 6 people in the chat, 20 people, stuff like that. And I told my cousin, I said, you know what? My views be like that now, when I go live. I said, but one day I'm gonna have thousands of people watching me, like Tabitha Brown.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm speaking that into it. I feel it in my bones that
Yeah.
that will happen for me.
Yeah. You got
You
to
know,
speak
the
it. Make
grind
it
don't
happen.
stop. You gotta keep going.
You gotta be humble.
And you gotta
Yes.
be humble. And here for the team, something you said about I'm all over the place now. I'm trying to respond to different talking points. So here for the T was saying that she feels like said you feel like Kevin Samuels' channel only blew up because he bad talks black women. I do agree with that. I agree with that because when he was bad talking black men, we heard nothing about Kevin Samuels like that.
Mhm.
So why is it that as soon as he started bashing black women,
Mm.
now the channel blows up?
Yes.
He was,
Exactly.
I made a joke saying that, oh, I should start doing, pulling black men on here and start talking, negatively about them. But I would never do that because that's not even my personality. I don't even know how to bash men like that. Like to just
Especially black men. Like I love our black men.
Tish, we can help you. Boys, stop copying and me, and we're gonna be actors, and we're gonna come and we're gonna let you humiliate us
Yeah, we
for
got you.
for like a month or so.
let me tell you why it's so funny you say that. I can't remember who I was talking to about doing this. It was somebody in my family. And I said to my cousin, I think it was my cousin I was talking to this morning. I said to her, you know what? I could have people that I know come on the platform and bash like my cousin, some of my cousins and some of my,
Mhm.
friends that I know or whatever. But we were saying, who's actually going to allow you to do that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's so funny, but I couldn't see myself doing that. First of all, I wouldn't even be able to do it without keeping a straight face. Like, I would have to laugh
Right.
because it's a joke. It's funny. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even be able to do it without laughing. It just wouldn't be authentic. It wouldn't be authentic. I
Right.
think that Kevin Samuels, although I don't believe he talked to women like that in real life, but I also believe that something in his personality allows him to speak to people in general the way that he speaks to people, not just women and not just men, but people in general. It's something in his personality that allows him to do that, and with a straight, serious face.
The camera, the fame behind the scenes. You know,
Mm.
some people you behind the scene, you can say a whole lot of stuff behind the screen. Now,
Well,
you
he was the
know,
same with the guys too, you know. He had the same attitude. He was talking the same way.
but
So I understand what Tish is saying. She's saying that that's his demeanor. That's the way it is. But now he's just focusing on the women. That's why maybe
he's
he got the
saying a lot of
traction and
things
everything.
that most black men won't say to a black woman.
Right.
That's why.
That
That's why.
men say in the barbershop.
You know,
Right.
these are things where men does have conversation about black women. You know what I mean? But they are not so boldly to go where some of that stuff I've heard him
Nah,
say.
I wouldn't say like I don't think we have a conversation about just black. We have a conversation about like women, period. Like
Right, that's what I
we
mean.
yeah, we put y'all all in one barrel.
But I'm talking about like
Yeah,
the
like all
bold
y'all in the same barrel. So when we talk about one, we talk about everybody in that category. Like if somebody be like, man, Shorty need a job. Like you know what I'm saying? We talking about all the shorties without a job.
right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just playing y'all.
But you won't be you won't be as battering now I will say, you know, a man to speak like that if you get them hot, okay? Now
Right.
they'll cuss you to look at. Okay?
Right, but you got to get me like super baked, like, cause
Right,
that shit kind of like weird, like, cause like my people be look like I wouldn't even want nobody to look at me like that, like, oh, he one of them weird niggas that be doing that, like, you
exactly.
know what I'm saying? Like, nah,
So some people, if the money, listen, what they say, money
yeah,
talk, bullshit walk.
yeah,
Yeah.
he doing
Right.
it, but we know. You can't get mad at him when you know he doing it for money. I
Yeah,
ain't never hating on no nigga that's getting no money, so I'm not mad at the way he doing it. Cause if he checking the bag off of it, my nigga do you. They crazy as hell for keep calling in every day.
right. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. I'm like,
Yeah.
everybody who is offended, listen, this is me. And
Mhm.
this is how I roll. Anybody who's offended about what they say, you crazy to keep checking in. I'm,
Right.
Right.
I'm not checking. Listen, that's for anybody channel. And Tish should tell you, if she
Yes.
on here talking some crazy stuff, I click the fuck off. I'm talking about if you I'm just being real. If you talking about conversations that I'm not
Tish, you
really,
need an avatar.
if you talking about stuff that really is offensive, but she don't talk like that. I'm just making an example. If you talking about stuff like that, you know, bashing and doing all of that, I'm clicking it. I'm clicking off. I didn't say I'm not going to keep feeding that into my spirit.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
Right. Now I'm saying, look, gang. So you mean to tell me I'm gonna call into it? Okay, so he gonna say, hey, so what you do? Hey, man, I just got done. I'm looking for a job now. I was just on unemployment. He gonna say some. Oh, so he gonna say, so you was an unemployed fat motherfucker, huh? Like you think I'm gonna call in and hear that nigga say that to me? Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Exactly.
that don't even sound right. Now
Something wrong with you.
now you know me. I may do it for entertainment purposes, but like in real life, no.
I think most of them women are doing that for entertainment. You could tell.
It's
Listen,
funny. It's funny. I'm telling you, it's
But
funny.
he also says a lot of truth, man. We have to agree. You know,
Yeah.
of course he's emphasizing, he's
Right.
exaggerating sometimes.
Right.
and it's for the entertainment value, and that's why he's getting.
Yeah.
People can't wait to watch it. Yesterday
Mm-hmm.
he had, like, I can't believe it, more than 20,000 man
Yeah.
watching it, because he
But
hasn't
see,
been
you
on
gotta,
for
you
a
gotta.
Crazy.
while.
But I'm saying, look at the women that come on that gang. When you look at the background of their homes, some of these people be in beautiful cribs. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you get what I'm saying? So I can see some people could getting up there just to do it. Like, oh,
Yeah,
so
and to be seen
let me
on
see what he go.
TV, because
Right?
Right.
yeah, because he's a big platform. So you get,
Yeah.
some of them get dolled up, and everybody is going to go and check them out on
Yeah.
IG.
Yeah.
Some of them, come with their bonnets.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a good entertainment thing.
Yeah.
Actually,
I've
it's
had a
good
couple.
entertainment.
I've had a couple of men tell me that I should call into Kevin Samuels' show. I'm like, I'm not calling up there. I like to watch him
Yeah.
and listen to his commentary.
Mm-hmm.
But why do I need to call there?
Well, you can call. It's just, don't take it too personal.
No,
You
I don't
call,
need to call
and
him.
if you're not happy with the way he's treating you, you just click off. I
No,
No,
mean,
why
if
call in the first place if you know that where the conversation gonna go?
not
No.
the conversation depends on your behavior. I
Right.
noticed that the
no.
way
Right.
the
Let me
lady
tell you.
talks and all that kind of stuff, that's what leads the conversation. So if you come in smoothly and not appear to be like on a battlefront, then you can finesse him into a good conversation.
No,
Yeah.
Some women have managed to do that.
Listen, he be ready. I'm sorry. It was
But if you
more
like
I
Latricia
thought.
Mizelle, and
I
you come in with if you like Latricia Mizelle and you have your knives out, and you come in, "Ah!" Then I mean,
no.
obviously you're gonna
Listen,
say,
let me tell
"Oh, don't
you.
overtalk me! Don't overtalk me! Stop! Okay, shut up! Don't
But
overtalk
that's
me!"
not true. That's not true. I seen Tim tear somebody down, and they didn't come up there with no knife.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
not true. So stop fronting for the people. I've seen. Listen,
Especially if it's a black woman. He stay ready for a black woman.
somebody,
Gang, no, like
somebody.
stop playing with. I'm just saying though, gang, don't play with Kevin Samuels. He's not to be played with. This is what
I
he's
would
trying to
curse
tell you.
him out, period.
He's
Gang,
I would
it's
definitely
ready.
curse him
The reason
out.
why, the reason why I feel like it is necessary for me to call is because I watch his show. Whatever I feel like I need to get from it, I can get from it from watching him and hearing
right.
other people call. What
Yeah,
the
you don't need to call. You don't
calling?
No,
need to
don't
call in
call.
then.
Mm-mm.
Right. Put yourself in the line of fire. For what?
But you could call in for
That's
fun.
stupid. No, because
I could be
But you could call in
No,
for
but
fun.
I'm saying, listen, don't call him right. Listen, don't call a successful black man right to say, yeah, you know what? I think a dude should have this, that, and that. And then when he asks you, so what you got? Oh, I don't got nothing.
right.
Oh, okay, Trick, get out of here, Trick. Like, you know,
But that's what
I'm
but
that's
Cat,
stupid to do.
but Cat, stop, listen, but boy, Cat, listen.
Yeah,
Don't you think listen, I'm trying to tell you, those women are calling there purposely doing that because
facts.
ain't no woman or man in their right mind gonna
Right,
see how this man eat them up like that. How you say,
facts.
Tisha, yum yum, eat them up?
Right? Yeah, yeah.
No, ain't no person in the right sane mind gonna call somebody's show. You already know what it's hitting for. He's ready all day long. I don't care. First of all, he ready all day long. If your lipstick look toe up, eyelashes, whatever it
Right.
is, he
Oh yeah.
already, he
Come
already,
on.
he already ready for you.
Yes.
So
He getting right on that like he Jill. So you mean to tell me, Jill, you's a middle-aged woman, you can't have kids, you this and that, you damn, hold on, calm down. I ain't say
That's what
all
he's
that
gonna
time.
do though. That's
that's
what
what
he
he
Right.
gonna
does.
Hey,
do.
but that's what he gonna do to you,
That's what
right?
he
He gonna
does.
say, and you mean to tell me like you want a man that's worth over $100,000? What you do? You could be like, well, I make $90,000 a year, he gonna be like, well, that's not 100.
Right.
No, but he doesn't. No, his angle is not even that.
Let me
He
tell
doesn't
y'all.
even care how much the woman makes. He doesn't care about
No,
that.
I know that. I know he don't care, but I'm
Okay.
just saying, like, he just gonna critique you on everything you try to say. He gonna make sure if you ain't doing it right, if in his mind, right, if you not doing it, why do you want somebody else to do it?
And
That is a man.
even if you making the amount he's talking about, he's still gonna zoom in is why your ass lonely and ain't got a man.
Facts.
So it
Right.
don't even matter if you got the money, you got the home.
Yep.
Why you lonely? Something
Mhm.
wrong with you. That's because you need help. You need therapy.
Right.
You know
Yep.
what I'm
He
saying?
gonna he gonna let you know. See, that's what's wrong with you. When that dude at Burger King, that cash register dude, tried to holler at you last week, you should have went on ahead and did your thing.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to say is why you even so you either he got these women calling there purposely to have a show because I believe some of that stuff is true.
I
Oh,
do
facts.
too.
Cause
I
they
think
doing good.
some of
You can look at their houses. You look at their
yeah,
houses. Come
yeah.
on, that's not.
I
Yeah,
think most of
those
that
women be
stuff,
having money.
those are people who he got calling in. That's all about entertainment, okay, baby. And half of them people who come on there looking trashy, I think he paid them too. Because
Yep.
ain't no way, people be talking about how somebody came on and they was looking busted. I'm like, now, there's millions and or thousands and thousands of people watching. You gonna tell me you gonna
Exactly, Jill.
like that? Come on now.
Right.
Those is not normal people, and I'm sorry.
Right.
I can't. You can't sell me that. So most of that stuff is for entertainment purposely,
Mhm.
and that's what it's all about. He getting that bag. Hey, he get that bag the best way he know how. I'm not tuning in.
Jill.
Hey, gang, it gotta be staged, gang. He just said, it was like 40, 50,000 people. Ain't nobody getting on that toe up with
I
50,000
would
people.
never. If I got on his panel, I would make sure I was in perfect.
Bro, it's too
Okay.
many reaction channels.
True.
For real.
If I was a reaction channel to Kevin Samuels, I'm going to roast everybody that got up that boat.
Listen, I'm gonna go rent if I can't afford some Gucci. I'm gonna go rent some.
Okay.
Shit, I'm calling him at the Airbnb.
Listen,
You
boy, stop
Shit.
tapping Jill. Did y'all see? Probably Jill, you probably didn't see it, but boy, stop capping. Did you see the week when Kevin Samuels did just the men? He had men calling in just for a whole week. This was a couple of months ago.
Mm-mm.
No.
And let me tell y'all, these men got up there. I promise y'all, when they got up there on that platform, the looks that they had on their faces and the attitude that they had, their whole demeanor was like, it's our turn. Like, yeah, we about to show these women. We about
Right.
to show them up. Let me tell y'all, JB, Kevin Samuels will lift them asses up.
Exactly.
Let me tell you.
Yay. You
The
gotta
same
think
way
about
he
it,
Oh
did
my
gang.
with
God, I
the,
need to watch that.
Listen,
the
bro.
same way he
Kevin
did
not
with
trying to
the.
listen to no broke nigga.
Yeah,
Kevin he not listening to no nigga without no money or a plan.
this was probably like, I want to say like 2 or 3 months ago.
I got to go look for that.
It was like 2 or 3 months ago, and he had just, he had a special week just for the men to call in.
Yep.
And what I liked about what he was doing was, one man in particular, I think it was 1 or 2 men in particular, they was talking about a previous relationship that they were in, and Kevin asked them basically like, why did the relationship end? And they were trying to blame the women for whatever
Mm.
that was the demise of the relationship. But Kevin reeled that thing right back on in and was like, hold up. Like basically, what did you do? What could you have done differently? So when he did that, and then he went live on his IG, and he was just talking and he was basically saying like he's not coming on his platform to bash people and this, and that, or whatever. He just wants people in general, men and women, to just get it right in relationships. And he even said for himself, like, I don't have it all together. I have to do work on myself. This is why I have been in more than one marriage. I didn't get it right the first time. I didn't get it right the second time. So I just want my people in the Black community to just get this marriage thing right, this family unit right, this togetherness thing. He just want us to get it together and take accountability for your actions, not always pointing the finger and blaming the other person, but what did you do as an individual in that relationship to cause it to have a breakdown or a breakup?
Right.
And most of the time, we as people, men and women, when we come out of a relationship, we're pointing a finger at the other person. How many times do you hear people, and I can say for the most part, women do this a lot. Women do it more than women, in my opinion. Say, oh, he did this, and he's that, and he's this, and he's that. How many times do you hear women in particular take accountability and say the relationship ended because I did X, Y, and Z?
That's both parties, though. That's both parties. A lot of people don't want to admit to how they messed up. They want to just focus on what made them do it. Let's say that.
Yeah.
That's the problem. People want to talk about what made them do what they did to F up, but they ain't gonna talk about, you know what I'm saying? The part that they played. They played in it, you know, until we're let back in when you started. This is what I'm talking about the me not saying I don't want a man who don't make 40K, but I'm just saying it's a package deal. But at 46 years old, and coming in, it's all from where your background and where you came from and started from, right? If that person got to have some kind of willpower, that's what you just said. He said, I want us to do better. Well, you can't see that you staying there flipping fries and you don't want no better. What I'm going to do with you? Because you can't stay on that level. You know what I'm saying? You got to want more, because I'm creating businesses and opportunity, and you stuck right there. How we going to work that out? Because my kids grown. My kids grown. So ain't no babies. I don't need you to stay here and watch no kids, wash no clothes. I don't need you to do none of that stuff.
Jill, what if it's a situation where you're saying you creating businesses and you're doing all these things to elevate yourself.
Right.
What if it's a situation where he come on board and y'all doing these creations of your businesses together? He's coming he's getting on your program.
So
right.
The thing is, all right, this ain't the 60s and the 50s no more. You know, because men looking for that same thing too. You know, before, men wasn't looking at your income.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Men wasn't looking at a woman's income back then. Men was like, oh, all right, she all right. She doing good for herself a little because she look good. She can seem like she got a head on herself. I'm talking about real men. We ain't talking about no boys.
Right.
Now.
They was sitting there saying she got a head on her shoulder. I like the way she carry herself. She taking care of kids. She, she may ain't got much, but I like that. I need that in a woman.
Exactly.
I can tell she's working on something. You know what I mean? But let's be realistic. Those were when we were 20 years old and stuff. You know what I mean?
So
now you're talking about
you couldn't get with a man that's going to get on your program. He got to have his own.
You got to have let me tell you something, baby. This is reality. This is some real stuff. You got to have something of your own. Nobody can come. We gotta have a, you gotta put something on the table.
But what,
Everybody.
Jill? What if he's coming with, knowledge in a certain area for your business that you don't have? Or what if he can contribute to your business to make it bigger than what you could have made it, and the money could be even greater? What if he just have skills or knowledge or information that you don't have, and it can contribute and make it bigger?
See, and this is where what's his name? Sam Hughes. This is where he come in at. Let's be realistic. Sometimes we do have to. Sometimes we do have to wake up, right? So let me say this: we got to get to that level first. I'm talking about. I hear feedback. Is that me?
Yeah. I don't know who's that. Let me. I don't know.
Okay, I don't hear no more.
All right.
So let's say this, and I'm gonna be real. So we got to get past the conversation, right? We get past the conversation, and that's the thing that attracts me to someone is first your head on your shoulder in a conversation. Other than, of course, appearance as well too. We can say a lot of stuff that it don't matter, but it does. You can't come to me with no, we're gonna get past
messed up teeth
and all this crazy looking crazy. Yeah, it shows that you are not caring for yourself, love. But I think some people have setbacks, right? And you have to get past the conversation where why you at Burger King today. Because he may have lost everything. People make mistakes, right?
Facts.
And he may have lost, there's different situations that may have happened. And I probably with my dumb behind probably missed my blessing, because the struggle I've been through of raising 2 children by myself and holding it down. You get what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. You ain't alone, because my dumb behind would probably miss my blessing too in a situation like that.
So it's hard to say that, because it's my story, it's my path, it's my life. That's why I said everybody's different. So when you come on come and meet somebody new, everybody's antennas up. And you already know when you're meeting, it's like an interview. That's an interview.
Exactly.
I don't know if you selling something. Everybody ain't always honest about their blueprint. People will tell you what you want to hear. That's every step of the way, right? So you got to take all of that into considerations. At 46, I don't have much time to gain. I could be here tomorrow. I don't got time to be figuring out how I'm going to fit something in to something that I've built already and that I'm looking to take to a next level. And you telling me that you comfortable at that level, but you got the brain. I work hard.
Yeah.
I worked so hard. I'm being honest. I worked hard to get the little bit that I do have. I can't see me taking that risk. And how do I know he has that mindset or something to add to my business? Because all you're seeing is what's right here, right now, right?
Right.
Are you willing to risk dating for 6 months?
Does that apply to men too?
Right.
Does that apply in reverse? For instance, can men say, okay, I don't want this woman because she's not making any money.
Both sides,
she can't have any children.
He can say whatever he wants.
Right, this is both sides. It all depends on your proposition. You listen. It's about your story and my walk. And my walk in life, that's not me judging somebody, but I know where I've been and how hard it took me to get where to go. There's a risk to everything.
I agree. That's why I was telling the gentleman, boys, stop capping earlier, that most of the women on the chat who say, no, I don't want no $40,000 guy. are in their 40s and stuff, they don't want that kind of guy.
Right.
That I agree. At 46, I mean, you've built your life. You already have a path. If you want to meet somebody, you prefer to have somebody who's very comfortable financially, so that he can help you go to another level. I understand
We
that.
can help each other.
I
What I'm
think I
saying is
think
we can help
age
each other.
plays a part. I think age plays a part too, because in my personal situation, I was 21 when I met my husband, okay? And
Mhm.
he was 26, 27, graduated from college, already in his career a few years, building a house at that time when I met him. So, I mean, I was in beauty school, or you know what I mean? I didn't really have nothing going on at the time. I was in beauty school. I probably had like a part-time job or something. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if age plays a part in this as well.
It
But I
does.
didn't really have nothing to offer
It,
my husband.
it
I
does.
I
think
mean, a
It
pretty
does.
face and a cute shape.
I
Yeah,
It
think
but
that
that's
does.
why it's important. It's important, I think, to have these positive messages out there so that the young people, because I don't know
Yeah.
if you realize, young people don't get married now, and it's important to put positive images out there. Talk about the
Yes.
couples that are here that nobody hears about, who are black,
Hmm.
working, building families, raising their children, so
Yes. We
that
built everything
and
together.
that's where I say that Kevin Samuel is good, because he's trying to push people to get married so early, either in college or soon thereafter, if
Hmm.
they want to build a
building
future
families,
together.
raising families.
That's how it should be. But listen, as we talked about earlier, what happened? The dynamic, the dysfunctions.
Hmm.
What happened? The role models, we don't see that. That's why I was saying to you, Baratiki, that you, from what you see out there in your culture, you guys they are raising from, I'm talking about from kids. Your goal is to get married.
Right. That's
You
not
Hmm.
your thing is you are taught that, and your family plays a big role in whom to marry and all of
Yep.
this stuff. There's different
Yes,
cultural things
not our
but
culture.
that is not
but we
our
still have the
culture.
problem now. We still have the same problem, because
But
now with television, the media, we seeing the same problem. We're seeing a drop in early weddings now. We still
Hmm.
have
of course,
young people
because you
getting
should
married,
have a
but
right.
we're beginning, since the 2000, we're starting to see a slight drop. I mean, it's beginning to drop. But the good thing about the society here is that we are 70% young people. It's a very young population. In other
Same
words, you have
here.
70% of the people have are under 20 years old. Okay, and I can explain why. This is historical. First, you had the big slaughters that happened a long time ago, because yeah, we talk about the slaves and everything, but people forget that those people came in Africa and started slaughtering people. So the population was very small. I'll give you an example. The country where I am, in 1960, we were 3 million people. Three, 1, 2, 3. Today, we are 15 million in just about 50 years, because the government managed to take care of a certain number of problems, and we have peace and everything. But Europeans and Arabs tried to kill off as much of the African as they could, because they wanted to take the resources, and without nobody interfering. There was a lot of wars, but people don't talk about it. They talk mostly about slavery. But there was a big, heavy cost in Africa. What I'm trying to say is that because of the you can call it culling, because they killed so many millions of people. The population was very small, and it stayed small for a long time. But now, with the advances in medicine and infrastructure and everything, we're getting more and more and more people, and they're young people. Okay, so we still have young people agreeing to get married because the family structure is still intact. But we're seeing, especially in urban areas, a drop. In other words, people who used to get married at 20, 22, 23, 24, they're waiting now until 30. Okay, so I know that we're gonna have a problem in about 20 years. We're gonna get, you know, the same
you're gonna have
situation.
nobody's gonna be getting married in. There's gonna
But
be
you know,
there's
but
gonna be
you know what?
there's gonna be none.
You know what the thing is, like I said, but you know, the whole thing is everybody wants somebody. Everybody want to be happily married.
Right.
You know, everybody want to be living this thing, but you know what? The part is you don't forget the happiness part of it.
Right.
I can't. I mean, I want to be married, but I want to be happy too.
I think everybody want to be married.
And I mean, I think everybody would love. I mean, there is some people who say they never want to be married or whatever the case is. I don't know, but on the truth of the matter is, everybody want to find that loved one, somebody who do the whole thing as a package.
Yeah.
It's not even about 4K. But let's be real. I mean, 40K. Let's be real. When you first meet somebody and you sitting there, that's not the first thing that happens.
Thinking about that, no.
To get further into the whole past 40K, the thing that happened is I met you and we start talking and I hear something that I like or not. But who spends that much time? Common sense is if I know you work at Burger King, I probably seen you in there and I probably ain't even gonna look at you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just like boycott, boycott said.
Mm-hmm.
You see somebody, you're not even gonna be over there. You ain't gonna be looking. He can look fine as hell.
Mm-hmm.
It's playful.
Hey guys, let me say this. I think that we got a match made in heaven right here on this platform. Not on the platform, but the platform in the chat. Baratiki and Latricia, y'all just
I see them. Yo, I see them. They is going in.
Every time I go live, it's these two.
She's in love with me. I know.
She said they over there going in. She said you trying to get that visa, bro.
Right.
Oh,
He need a visa.
he
You
called
know
him
what?
thank you, butt and everything.
Hey, look, that's why he keeps speaking on the family in America, motherfucker.
Yes.
Boy Scout Captain, not just the family in America. You keep talking about it's plenty of Black American women.
Right.
Black American women. American women.
He said he stressed the fact that I've been there. I've been there.
Yes, and I've had good experiences, man.
Experience.
Yes, very good, man.
Very good.
Latricia, you said he don't need a visa, honey.
Listen, man. I'm over here giggling to myself watching these two in the chat.
Why don't you send her a visa so she can come over there?
Send her a piece of the motherland.
Right.
But Latricia, Tish, you forget that they don't have 7XL seats in the planes. The ones that come to Africa.
Oh my God.
Oh shoot.
Bro, I'm over here for the pass out, brother.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, we got to keep conversations like this going too. Like I think that it's healthy. It's making people aware. It's just good, healthy dialogue amongst Black people, whether we're in America or not. You know what I'm saying? And there's different points of views because it's different nationalities and cultures on the platform or whatever. Of course, we as Americans, Black Americans that's on the panel, we can't really relate or get what Valentiki is saying because that's not how our culture is. The things that he's saying is just not our culture. Like I know some Indian people and What's that noise? Somebody got some noise in the background. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna mute y'all. But I know I have some Indian friends, and in the Indian culture, they're not doing it as much as they were doing it before, like I would say about 20 years ago. But they have arranged marriages, and it's unseen and unheard of for them to not be married and build that family dynamic. And a couple of weeks ago, I was hanging out with my Indian friends, and the wife asked me, why is it that, what was her question? She asked me, why is it that Americans don't get married? Like Black Americans, why don't we get married? And I told her, I said, you know what? It's not that we don't get married, because we do. It's just that it wasn't made a priority for us growing up. Like, I know for me, my mother didn't instill in me that I should get married before I have kids, and that's one of Kevin Samuel's talking points. Marry before you carry. We just wasn't taught that. Why? I don't know. But that's just not something that we as Black Americans was taught, and it was instilled in us for whatever reason. But you got these other cultures of people that this is like getting married before you carry is instilled in you from birth. The women don't leave the house until they get a husband, and the men, they get out there and they work hard and they get them a wife and they take care of her. Why wasn't we taught this in our culture?
I mean, that's how the white people do it. Listen, look, they got money. You gonna get married. They teaching them how to build businesses and stocks and stuff early. It's a lot of things that we have it, and I tried to do that with my children. Make sure that, listen, save your money. Think of different values and different things, because the schools are not teaching our children that, and the homes are not. I think it's a lot more single parents, today than there was back then, of course. And women put up with a lot.
Yeah.
Grandpa was creeping, mistress, all types of stuff, and grandma sat quiet, crocheting.
Right. Yes.
So listen, there's a lot of toss-ups to why those were successful and why people our age said the buck stop here.
Nah, I would keep it real though, gang. Like, you know why marriage was like cracking for back in the day? Mm-hmm. Like, because women couldn't do nothing, gang. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it was on the men to do everything. Like, a woman couldn't vote, gang. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, they could do a bunch of shit. What they could do is cook and clean.
Yeah.
Like, and have babies.
So it's like, back then, you had no choice but to put up with grandpa doing all that and down the street and all that type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but now it's more independent women and they ain't going for that.
Exactly. Right. That's a lot. And that
boys, stop capping.
Yeah. Because
I agree with you a little bit when it comes to maybe America. Yeah. But in Africa also, a long time ago, most of the women didn't go to school. But I'm telling you, today, even, sometimes they have like little interviews and shows and talk shows. Most of the young African women now, most of them are educated. And the dream of everyone is to get a husband. They all want to get married. As soon as they go to the university, so we still have that thing. And that's what I think Tish was talking about. There isn't the pressure. There isn't the societal pressure to get married, just like in India, for instance, where people have to get married. And if they don't find somebody, a wife will be found for you, like arranged marriages and everything. And so it depends on the culture. And because of the culture is run by television and movies and all that kind of stuff, which with the scripts written by a bunch of, I'm sorry, alphabet people in Hollywood. So the idea of a healthy marriage is not
No,
sold.
don't say that's not true. That's not
No,
true.
we ain't trying to be like.
You
That's
keep
not
trying to
everybody.
say, this is why I keep rebuttaling. I'm not comparing, but you keep thinking television.
Okay, do you think
That's not what's happening. What's happening, like I
is
just
it
said,
sold?
can't
Is it
you have
sold?
two
Is the
wives?
idea of
Can't I have
marriage
two
sold?
wives out there?
Let us talk. Hold on.
Now, can't y'all have more than one wife?
It depends.
Yeah,
Some
but
some
See,
people some
we
people are
cannot.
Muslim.
so I'm
No, wait a
trying to
minute.
show you there's different levels. We here in America ain't going for. I'm not. My man ain't gonna have no two wives.
Well, let me
No.
let me explain
You
to
know
you.
what I'm
Let me
saying?
ex-
'Cause that's
Absolutely not.
bullshit.
well, let me explain to you how it works. This
Yeah.
more than one wife thing.
It depends if
Okay,
you're Muslim or not, right?
you don't marry three women at the same time. Okay, so
Okay.
But you
when
can
you
have.
when you
Listen. But you can
no, you
have
don't.
as long as you can afford to take care
Well,
of them.
it depends. No, 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 no,
African
no. It's not
princess.
like that. Can I explain to
Okay.
you at least? It depends. In some tradition, in some traditional communities, it's allowed, and in the Muslim also, people who are Muslim can do it. But the way it goes is like this. Usually, you get married first. Let's say you're 20, you get married, and then after 10 years or 20 years, you want another wife because you already had 5 children with your wife, your first wife. She doesn't want to make any more children. And what I'm telling you is you cannot marry another woman if that woman doesn't agree. See, that's what they don't tell you about it. You know, like the way some of the people, Hebrew, Israelite, whatever, do in America, like they marry three people. No, that's not the way it works. You marry somebody, and if you want to get married again to another woman, you have to ask permission to the first wife. That's why, it's a little bit like they were saying sister wives or whatever. It's kind of like that. So the first wife has a special status. She's special, and she has to approve of the other woman.
Oh yeah, that
If
ain't
she,
gonna
if,
happen in America.
See,
yeah, but
here
that's what I'm
you
saying.
got.
It's just that if she doesn't want you to get married to that other woman, you're not going to get married. It doesn't matter
Now,
if you have billions.
bruh,
You
in
understand?
order to get
So
married,
people
you
don't know
gotta
it.
get
No,
divorced.
So
That's
it's
well,
so
the thing is,
basically to
yeah,
get.
then you have to get divorced, and it's very difficult to get divorced because it's of the family pressure, like I was telling you. It's
So
very difficult to get divorced.
Them second
so
and third and
basically,
fourth marriages, those are not legal marriages because you can't be married legally to multiple people in
so
this country.
so y'all
But
basically just get
in many
married
countries, you
to
cannot,
multiple women to
because
have
when
more
you get
kids.
married, let me give you an example. For instance, in this country, when you get married, when you go to sign the papers, okay, at the mayor's office, because you go to the city hall, that's where you sign the papers. You have to check whether or not you are you are thinking about being in a polygamous marriage or not,
Mm.
and both of you have to sign it. So when you go to get married, you don't go to get married with 2 or 3 women like I've seen sometimes on YouTube. People go get at the same time, one guy with 3 wives. That's ridiculous. That's not the way it goes. You get married to one person, okay? So when you go with that person, there's a form that you have to fill out, obviously, and sign the legal document, okay? And there is a section where you have to check if you're going to be polygamous or not.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay. And you, the husband, you have to sign that and check. And the wife that you're marrying today has to check that one too.
so what
Otherwise,
if
it's
she
not
doesn't
legal.
want to check that?
Well, then there's no marriage. If he
So
doesn't,
she has to agree
if
to. She
yeah,
has to
before you go
agree
to
to allow you
before you
to
go to city
have
hall,
multiple wives.
yeah.
Why does she have to
Already
agree
when
with that if she don't want that?
yeah, if she doesn't want, you're not going to city hall. Why are you going to city hall? I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm saying
it's
if you
ridiculous.
don't want it, you don't have to do it. But if it's something that you want to do, that's the procedure.
Why would
And
somebody
one more
agree to that
question.
though?
One more
Okay, but
question. Isn't it money involved as well when you get married?
When you get married, there is traditionally an amount of money that is given, and it depends on
Right.
the country in Africa. But in this country that I know most about, it's legally capped at $20. Nobody can give more than $20. It's a $20. You have to. It's just a symbolic thing because it's part of the tradition. So the government, like 60 years ago, decided that they're going to make one price. It used to be $10. Now they raised it to $20 because there were some people who were not able to get married because they didn't have all the monies that rich people they have, like they can give you 10 cows, this and that, this and that. So in order to put a stop to those kind of practices, they decided that okay, the law says that there's a cap of $20. So everybody gives $20. You can
Right.
give 10, 5, whatever, but everybody goes to
Hey, can
$20.
I ask a question?
Yes.
Hey, because I was just gonna ask that, like, where the money fall into play? Because in America, we got to have a bag. We can't be playing around like with no hope and no prayer. Like we got to
Oh
have
yeah.
and
Oh,
live.
oh, I'm telling you, it's the same. It's the same here. I mean, if you're gonna get married, first of all, you are expected to take care of your wife. I
Right.
mean, it's not
yes.
a 50-50 thing. You have to take, even if your wife has money, when you come, you're gonna take care of her. First of all, when she gets married, maybe it's her family that's gonna, spend a lot of money for the wedding and everything because they're sending their daughter off. So sometimes you see very lavish weddings, and usually it's the woman family because she's very rich or whatever, who are going to do that. But after the festivities, whatever, after the party is over, she's going to your house. In other words, you gotta have a house for your wife to go into,
Is it still like that?
even
Right.
if her dad is a billionaire.
Is it still like
You
that today,
understand?
or is it changed?
Excuse me?
Is it still the same? That same
Oh
that
yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah,
talking?
yeah. You have to have. I mean, you cannot get married if you don't have a house, man, for your wife.
The
There's
reason why
just
I
no.
ask that is because you
It's not
also
like that here, but I think it should be.
right.
Nice.
The reason why I asked that was because earlier you said that the African women now, in their 20s and stuff like that, they watching TV and social media. They have changed their mindset because of TV.
Yeah, I'm saying that it's beginning to happen that they getting influenced by the media, the movies, and all that stuff. Because like now the media is everywhere. Everybody's got a cell phone. Everybody got internet connection. So people are starting to look at stuff, but it's not critical yet. Like I was telling you, people are still getting married, and I'm thinking that maybe,
Somebody in the chat wanted to know if you're married.
yeah. Well, I used to be married. I think I told you that, Letitia, right? I was married,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why I kind of know how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
I mean,
they
and I
let you out.
most of my friends are married and everything. So I know exactly how it goes. I'm still in good term with my ex, no problem. Because once you get married, you never cut completely. Even if you go to
Divorce.
you get married on your side and everything, because you have children, and it's another thing. It's another story, and the families know each other. So it's never like the war of the roses. Like, okay, you divorced or whatever. No, no, that's not the way it goes. You
According
know.
to MJ says, why did she leave you?
What? Oh, why? Okay, because I was living in another country in Africa, which is a little bit rougher than here, and she's kind of a bourgeois girl, and she was staying with me there. I was building there. I was building and building, and then at one point she said she couldn't stay there anymore, so she came back here. But I stayed there, and then it kind of phased out. Plus, she's a very jealous woman. She thought I was having affairs here and there, which is not the case.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Or
So
did you tell her
He
you
said,
wanted
which is his
another wife?
business. Did he
so
say?
so just
Did he say that's
what?
his business?
She said, no, which is not the case.
Wh-
Wait, I'm
No,
confused.
no, no,
Okay.
but that was not the case. I said that was not the case. I
Oh,
wasn't
that's not
fooling
the case.
around.
Okay, because I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa, wait a minute. Okay.
No, that was not the case.
Okay.
But anyways, and then just like in America, she's the one who left. I didn't leave. She's the one who left.
Yeah, women leave marriages and relationships
Mhm.
more than you
So
do.
Right. Men will stay really pretty much forever.
Yeah, they will.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
the good, bad, and the ugly. They ain't trying to go nowhere.
Right.
But it was good. It wasn't like a war or whatever. And I'm cool. She got remarried, but she got divorced again. Yeah, because we divorced. That was about
They like to fight. They
that
like
was
to fight
almost
like
10
you.
years ago.
Latricia, and according to MJ, is letting you have it in the chat. Well, really, Latricia.
Yeah, Latricia is in love with me. I understand. I understand her feelings. I'm a very charming gentleman, and I'm just afraid that the day she's gonna see me, she might just melt in my arms, and that's I don't know how I'm gonna react. I don't know if I'm gonna cry, if I'm gonna get like have a heart attack or something.
And you guys have.
But
does anybody else on the panel have anything else to say? We've been on here for 3 hours. This has been a wonderful
really?
conversation and much needed conversation. Yes.
Oh yeah, it says 3 hours, 10 minutes, and 25 seconds. Oh my God.
You're live.
And it's been all those times, and he talked the most.
Boy, stop capping.
Yeah.
Can I get an amen?
Yeah, I need him to come up. Where's you when I have panels? I need you to come on my panel.
Okay, what's your channel? What's your channel, man? I'll come over. No
Boys,
problem.
stop
Especially
news. Boys, stop
say that. Say what again?
Boys,
Let me write it down.
News. I need you to come over and talk more.
Yeah, tell me. What's the channel name?
Boys, stop capping news.
He done said it.
Ah, okay, just like the name. Okay, boys.
Wait a minute. The crazy thing is, boy, stop capping. You done said it like 3 times, but because he's talking so damn much, he couldn't even hear you say it.
I need you to come talk for 3 hours before.
I can.
Listen,
I
he
can do
said,
it.
I'm going to tell you about you American people.
No, I don't have. No. The only reason why I talked about it is because we were talking about family. I don't like to talk about those kind of things. I can talk about all kind of subjects.
Please, I'm joking with you.
Oh, okay.
And for the record, Baratiki, I could go outside at 2 o'clock in the morning if I want to.
Me too.
I could go outside 2 o'clock in the morning, right tomorrow. Wee hours of the night turning into 2 o'clock in the morning tomorrow or tonight or whatever. And
Yeah,
I was just fine.
Yeah, don't feed into the TV too much, like you said.
Well,
I
was just
will
mentioning it. I was there.
else, but we do, there's a lot of places. When I say that, I'm not trying to compare, but when I say that, I'm sure there is places in Africa you can't walk around 2 o'clock in the morning either. Every place got a hood, bro.
Right.
Well, the first thing that you have to understand is that here you cannot go and buy a gun like you do in America. Weapons
and you can't do that everywhere either. Not in New York City. Like in New York City, you can't have a gun.
There's 300 million, just go on the net. I mean, there's official statistics. There's more than 300 million guns in America. Okay, and you can see every country, they can tell you every country how many guns they have. That already gives you an idea.
Okay, but what I'm saying is,
however, that doesn't mean that you cannot get killed, because in England, people get stabbed every day.
But listen,
they like to use knives there. See, so you don't have to have a gun to kill somebody.
We're not supposed to be able to buy a gun here in America either, but people doing it illegally.
Exactly.
And I'm sure in Africa, like you said, you can't just go and buy a gun, but people People buying them.
They're getting it
Well,
from
in America,
somewhere.
you can buy a gun legally. It's easy if you
But
have a
not
clean record
every
and stuff.
state. Listen, not every. You saying that, but not every state allow you to buy firearms.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. Especially in New
So
York,
what
New
does you
Jersey
saying
are the
America?
toughest states. The New York and New Jersey, very bad state when it comes to weapons. But I actually believe in letting people have guns. I actually believe in that Second Amendment of yours.
But it's just the fact that I was just saying that people are getting killed everywhere. You have to be
Yeah,
safe
I know.
everywhere, and it's
But
just
let's not
not.
count.
It's just
But
that
that's
America.
negative.
No, only reason why.
It's more
Hold on. I just stress that because a lot of people, who's not from America, they feed into this news feed to where, it sounds so harsh and bad, but there's things going on all across the world.
It's just
I
not.
never said
Now it's just
that he
not on
was so harsh.
TV, and
I never said he was so harsh.
and then
I
even
just
a lot of
mentioned
us.
East St. Louis. And
And
you know that in East St. Louis is very bad. I don't know if you've been there. I've been there.
I'm not saying
I
that.
mean,
I'm talking about the whole conversation of East St. Louis, America, period. I know there's not safe for us Americans to come to go to certain countries. We get killed there
yeah,
too, robbed and all
yeah.
that. So what I'm
It's
it's
especially the thing is, I never generalized because I know that you cannot generalize. I know how, for instance, people portray black people. All black
me a
people are
little
not like
bit.
that.
This
A
chat
little
is
bit.
crazy.
It just sound like but I'm not saying that's what you do. It just sound like that to me. It was like the
No, I
whole
was
speech. The whole speech was
okay.
mainly about us Americans and how we are, twerking or if we're killing somebody or we're doing this or we're on here.
Well,
People
I'm
are
giving you
doing this
examples.
everywhere,
Can I ask Beryl Tiki a
No,
question? Can I
what I
ask you a
was saying
question?
was,
Hold on,
yes.
hold up.
Did
Go ahead, wait for the tea.
when you were married, did you overtalk your wife a lot?
When I was married,
Did you overtalk your wife a lot?
well, yes, because I'm the head of the household, so I don't get over.
We're gonna mute him.
So you didn't allow her to have an opinion?
Yeah, that's right. Talk your shit here for the tea. I just muted him. Now he can't talk.
I'm just trying to see because I don't know. It's like nobody can say anything.
Go ahead, Baratiki.
Well, I'm letting them talk now because I guess I gave them the impression that I don't let my wife talk. On the contrary,
You letting us talk when
I
the
asked you a
show over,
question. I
it's
just asked you a
done, really.
question.
Yeah, because it's like if you hear and it's just that when I'm saying you said the whole show, you were trying to show us what how we're doing different with families and different things, but this is worldwide, which I'm glad you finally you admitted that it's changing too there, as far as the family dynamic of not wanting to getting married or doing different things because there's life situations, but culturally we weren't made or forced to get married here, because you have to love that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference about the whole thing because love play a big part in,
Yes.
it's not all about just getting into a relationship, getting married and have kids. You got to build some kind of, I don't want to wake up to my worst nightmare after I'm married.
Exactly. And
then
then having kids.
Then this man start whooping my tail. Now he wants me to have a dog chain on my neck. Now I got the sweet clean just to do kids. And so that's why I think a lot of marriage stuff changed because you need to know who you marrying.
That's right.
You got a lot of stuff going on out here. You can't just they look, as I said, when you're dating, it's just like an interview. You're interviewing for a job. Do you know how to do this? You probably don't, but I bet you can make it sound like it. Anybody could read a book. Anybody could be sitting there watching you from afar, and especially now that you got a YouTube channel and they can see you on there. Don't mean that that's who you really are, but they could get a little idea.
You better preach, Jill.
So what I'm trying to say is that's why a lot of people left out that big part of why a lot of people aren't married. We done seen that probably our mamas get their tail whoop, our dads get our tail whoop, somebody, our sister. And as for me, what made me safe now with the whole marriage, my sister husband killed her and killed himself, and it's 3 kids left out of that marriage. Did he love her? Yes, he did. Love her too much. I don't want nobody loving me like that. Okay. So, there's different dynamics that happens to people in their lives that put up antennas to make you question. It doesn't mean something's wrong with everybody. It's just narrative of how life spins out. And I was 18 years old when that happened to me. So you damn right, I was very careful who I did. I made sure they didn't buy nothing. And see, that's what I said. I'm probably messed up my blessings because I made sure you ain't gonna buy nothing in this house that you think you're gonna talk about you can take. I never made it so safe to where I felt comfortable for somebody doing something from me and to be able to just sweep it from underneath my feet. And then I'm sitting there and I have nothing. I would never, ever put myself in that predicament. And I don't want to put myself in harm's way either. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be really careful of how you open up and expose yourself to so many because you don't know what people's intentions are,
Yeah, but Jill, you must have missed when I was saying that I believe that there is a lot of young or not so young Black American people who are perfectly normal, who are married, who are living very successful lives. That's what I started saying. I wasn't saying that everybody is messed up. And I was saying that that's what needs to be emphasized. That's what we need to see on television, on TV, and all that. That's how I started. I didn't start saying that people kill each other. That's not what I'm saying because I know it's not the case.
I didn't say you said that, honey.
Yeah,
I was just
I'm just letting you know that I understand. I understand it's everywhere the same. So I don't believe that it's completely messed up. I said that I'm sure that at least 20%, like 1 in 5, of the households in Black America are sound households. And it's other people that were saying that it's worse than that and this and that.
You can't use statistics or percentages with an opinion.
Yeah, that's your opinion.
Well, yeah. I don't have the statistic, but I believe, I feel is not what I should use, Kevin Samuels. Okay. But to go back to Kevin Samuels, he says that how long is it gonna take for you to know the other person before you get married? It's gonna take 2 years, 10 years. How long? See, marriage is like the lottery. You have to go into it, and that's why I believe it's better to get married when you're young, just fresh out of high school, whatever, puppy love. You find a woman and you get married, and go from there.
Who is that better for?
When you're young,
no, that's what I'm trying to say. That's not meaning for everybody.
Well, maybe. Obviously, because
some people would like to focus on their career. There's some people want to finish school, go to college, focus on the career, and then start a family. So that doesn't give somebody a right to tell me that right now.
But that's the way it is today. But back in the day,
don't you think? Like that. Yeah. But don't you guys think that even if when you're young, you meet in college, can't you not get married and still pursue your career? I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, I think that's possible. That's pretty much what I did, and like I said, I think the reason that my situation worked out for me is because I grew up seeing that, and my husband grew up with that family dynamic. You know what I'm saying? 2-parent household. Situation. My parents, 2-parent household. So I think that's how I don't know. Maybe that's why we connected so well, because we saw the same thing growing up.
Yeah, you have the same background when it comes to
Right.
that.
I
Definitely makes a
said
difference.
earlier. I
That makes
said,
a difference. That makes a difference in your decision to marry. You know, in general. You know, it makes
Mm-hmm.
a difference. If you don't see certain things, how are you going to emulate that if you don't see it?
Right.
You only do the things that you've learned from your childhood and from your
Mm-hmm.
past.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You repeat those things. Some people do break the cycle and do something totally opposite from what they see, but that's rare.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, we all gonna do what we've seen from our past.
Yep.
It's like repeating history.
Or
That's
what
true.
your heart is led to be done. Like if you, like I said, if you, it depends on what you saw, and just like you said, that history, which I
Hmm.
was trying to say, that whole history background, like and nobody's saying which upbringing is wrong. I ain't saying you wrong. I seen scholars grow up in senior, single households.
Mm-hmm.
Seen scholars grow up in abusive homes.
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
So we're not talking about that, but everybody willpower and motivational instinct, and it doesn't make nothing wrong with them, but everybody's built differently.
Differently, yeah.
You are
That's true.
everybody is built differently to thrive differently.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You have some people who were surrounded by a married, we were, married, our family, that's what you did in the married, and do all of this, and they turned out to be what? On drugs or dropped out of school. They don't want that.
Hmm.
Yep.
They don't want that pressure. They
Yep.
don't want somebody pressuring them to say you should apply for Spelman because you're gonna go to Spelman today. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
here's different dynamics, and what it is that teaching. I think the problem is that sometimes you have to let an individual have a say so
Hmm.
in
Okay,
something
Jill.
they want to be a part of, because that's not going to work if somebody's forcing you to live something
Okay,
that you.
we're
But
not talking about forcing or anything.
you ain't even
Jill,
let me
I'm
finish
asking you,
saying what
do
I'm
you do you believe that the traditional family is the better way to go? Yes or no?
Jill?
Of course. I mean, I think that's a good way to go. It is traditionally to get
That's
married
all
and
I'm saying.
but
That's all I'm saying. I'm
but
saying we need to push that idea more. I'm not saying that what you're saying is nothing. I mean, it depends on
Mm-hmm.
every individual, of course. Some people are going to be happier, under quote, because what is happiness in reality? Being single. But I believe that it's a natural desire of human beings to be together, a man and a woman.
But
I believe that's the
the pushing that traditional marriage more, that's all.
that's what I would like to see.
That's all
Not only
fine and
because
dandy. I would like to see that too, but that's all fine and dandy. But today's society, today's females in particular, women, with the whole feminist movement and women, black women in particular, are the most educated, the most enrolled in school and all this other stuff, because of the mindset of not wanting to be solely dependent on another human being, a man in particular, that probably won't fly over too smoothly trying to push the traditional marriage. And when you say traditional marriage, what comes to my mind is where the woman stays at home and takes care of the kids, and the man goes out and provide, you know, make the money to provide for the family. That's what I'm getting from
fair
traditional.
enough. Oh, yes, fair
That
enough. That's what
the women,
traditional used to mean.
yeah,
But what I'm trying to say is a man and a woman. A man and a woman, they get married because of legal reason. Because when you get married, you pay less taxes, you get all kind of benefits.
So you're not
That's
talking
why
about
people get
traditional. You're not talking about traditional in that sense that I just described.
no, because the word evolves.
Okay.
Okay, and today, just for the sake of being able to have a comfortable living, you cannot just say, okay, my wife is staying at home and this and that when you're
Right.
just starting. I mean, the both of you will work together to build that future that you're sharing. For instance, your wife may have a project that she wants to do. You may have a project. Then you are discussing it, no holds bar. You know, when you're young, you building your dream, and you work together to achieve it. And at the right time, you're gonna have children because you want to have children, because you want to get married because you want to have children. You want to have children because you want to build what we call a family. In other words, other human beings that you're gonna
Legacy
teach,
and all that.
and with whom you're gonna share this trip or this voyage on
Yeah.
this earth
Yeah.
while you're alive. And that's what it is.
The beauty about today is that women can stay at home and raise the family and work online. There's things you can start. She can start her own business. She can still have her own money and stay at home and take care of the household.
Yes.
You
You
know
can.
how it is here. You know, here when you marry, for instance, I think I heard somebody or Kevin Samuel say it or somebody on his show. And it was funny because I was like, wow, that's exactly the way it is here. You know, the woman, her money is her money, but the
Mhm.
man, his money is our money. Do you
Mm.
Yes.
understand? That's the
That's
way it is
true.
here. That's why I'm telling you, you cannot get married if you cannot uh, 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 take care of your wife. She's gonna leave. She's gonna go back to her parents' house, and it's gonna be a shame on you because you were not able to take care of your wife.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter if you live in a big city or in a village.
Do
Even if you live in a village,
it should be
if
here?
you're gonna get married, you gotta have your hut somewhere.
Do I think that's how it should be, ladies?
I
Yeah.
think I think so. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
And
think that
there are some women here who are married who are more wealthy than their husbands, but they live in their husband's house because she is doing her business on her side. See, the people think that women in Africa are controlled, and they don't know. They're freer even than in America. But there is traditional society. A woman cannot go out, okay, especially a married woman, and do what Lizzo did or what Cardi B does. It's not appropriate. It's you cannot do that. A woman is something that has to be respected,
Right.
okay, because she's
Mm-hmm.
the mother of the children.
I
So
agree.
you can the woman can get married with a young man, okay, and then the young man goes and study to be a lawyer. But it's not because you're a lawyer that you become a millionaire. At the same time, the woman maybe went to school and then had a child and just stopped at the bachelor degree. But she's very savvy business wise. And like I was telling you, her money is her money, and your money is your money, to the both of you, to the household. And when you get married, not only do you take care of the household, in other words, you pay for the utilities and the bills and all that kind of stuff, but usually you give your wife an allowance. You give her some money, even if she's working. That's the
Mm-hmm.
traditional way to do it. You know, you give her
That's I agree.
I
you
like
give her like,
I
it's a very
like
symbolic.
Yes.
So you give her an allowance. Now, if she makes money at her work, it's her money. Do you understand?
That's
Now
the way it
she
is.
can use
That's the
it
way
and
it is
share
here.
it with you and give you some if she wants, but she can do her own business on the side and make a lot more money than you making, even though you're a
Yep.
lawyer, a big lawyer in a firm, but you're getting a salary, and she's successful in business, selling products or whatever, and she's making millions while you're making hundreds of thousands.
Mm.
So there's a lot of that here. And it's not because she's making those millions that she's gonna wake up one day. Because like you were saying, Jill, it takes time to build a business. So when you got married, okay, you were the one ahead of her, you were working, as a lawyer, taking care of everything. 10 years down the road, 3 kids later, she's successful in the business and she's making a lot more money than you, but that's not a reason for her to wake up and say, hey, I need to what do they say, to level up or whatever. I don't need this dude anymore. I'm going to break my home, wreck my home, like Kevin says, and I'm going to go find myself a millionaire. No,
Right.
it doesn't happen like that. So that's what I'm just trying to say. So we need to go back in America to that kind of spirit. And I know women don't want to be with Dusties. Who wants to be with a Dusty?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but we need to show a better example, and we need to make sure that the young people don't get distracted by the media. And they need to understand that there is nothing more important than the family unit if we want to have a strong community.
Yes, I agree with that.
But at 46, like I said, I'm too old to be trying to help raise somebody. You got to want something for yourself. That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
I can't help you grow. You know what I mean? At 46,
already established.
At 46, Jill, at 46, if you go out with somebody, he needs to have his own home, cars and everything already set up, because he's gonna be in his 40s and 50 and something. He must be. I mean, that's the minimum. I agree with you. I mean,
that's what I'm saying is you got to have. Yeah. I'm not talking about you got to be. Listen, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I ain't saying I don't have all my ducks in a row. Nobody said you got to be fully compact and complete.
Right.
But I ain't got time to be building nobody.
Mm-hmm.
No, he should have at least the house and all the furniture and everything, and some kind of income that helps him continue to maintain that lifestyle. Now, maybe when both of you get together, it's like what I tell people all the time. The beauty of marriage is 1 + 1 is not 2 anymore. 1 + 1 is superior to 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the result of 1 + 1 is greater than 2. You know, the mathematical expression, 1 + 1 greater than 2. You know, it can be 3 or 4 or 5.
We should be a power to be reckoned with. What I'm saying is, when she made that example, like, you know, he's comfortable. Nobody shouldn't be comfortable to not do more.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe he makes.
No one's speaking of to become. Would I like to be a millionaire? Hell yeah. Will I just come? You know, I'm not thinking of that line. But I would like to know that once I'm ready to retire, I don't have to worry about a storm coming and taking my home, and then now I got to go back to work because I got to rebuild, and now I have nothing. So we got to be building to be able to live, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You see all of this going on, hurricane.
When I gave that example, I was speaking of a man who. The example I said was, okay, let's say he made, I think I said $40,000 a year.
Okay.
And you met him at that income level, but he's the man of your dreams. Like everything that you could think of that you would want in a man, he possessed those qualities. But he only makes $40,000 a year. You gonna throw that man away?
But the realistic thing is that it doesn't happen like that, Tisha. I wouldn't even know if he's a man of my dreams, because I probably ain't gonna entertain it. See, I'm speaking realistic.
You're not even gonna entertain it because it's just the 40,000.
Because I'm all right. Maybe not just only about the 40,000. I'm talking about. But you said it was another part to it. He could do all of that, but he's just comfortable.
Yeah, he's comfortable with just making 40,000.
I can't.
But Jill, he could make only 40,000, but he already has a home that it's paid for. He already has a car that is paid for, and he's not a big spender. So $40,000, he can even live on it and maybe save even $10,000 a year.
But
you know what I mean?
Listen, then he don't only. Listen, but then he don't only have 40,000. Now you talking about equity.
Well, that's what he's earning. That's the job that he has.
Okay, you missed it.
Yeah, you talking about when you say he has a home, she's talking about.
Now you talking about he's already built something. He's already, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking, you
Yeah.
know, you don't. That's different. You know, I'm talking about somebody. He has equity, right? If he own his own
Yes.
home, then
Yes.
he don't
Yes.
only have 40,000. Am I right or
Well,
wrong?
that's the way I would see it for it to be acceptable. Like he already has his own paid for. Maybe he had
Right.
some trouble, a divorce or whatever. But even if it's a small house, it's his, and the house
Right.
is
So
not.
that changes the dynamic.
But
I
he
mean, it's a
don't
clean
only have
house.
forty
It's a
thousand.
clean house. He pays the water. He pays the electricity. He has furniture. He has cable. He has his small car. He doesn't need to drive the latest fancy car. His car is fine. He's got insurance and everything, and he lives on $40,000.
Yeah.
And like she was saying, he's happy there, and he meets you, and he falls in love with you, and he takes care of what he should take care of when it comes to.
Every desire you have.
You
Yeah.
just built a whole different scenario. He has more than $40,000 because he has equity, and he owns his own stuff.
Basically, Jill is saying she can go for that
I'm just
scenario.
saying because listen, he feels accomplished, right? Because he did accomplish something, didn't he? He done bought his
Yes.
own home, got his own land, and got his own cars, and got everything that he needs right now, right?
Yeah, but he's not driving a fancy SUV. He's driving,
Nobody's
let's
worrying
say,
about the brand. I didn't say nothing about a brand. What I'm saying is he built something.
Right.
yes.
And I'm this, but not somebody who's just he already built something.
But
He
that
built
wasn't,
it.
that wasn't the scenario that I was given.
Now I get what you're saying, but he's
Yeah.
built something, so he has more than 40K. Because let's be real, if you make 40K a year, 9 out of 10, you only bring in probably 30, if that, less than that. Because that 40K, health and healthcare from your job, all that stuff come out of that check.
And all that, yeah.
So you ain't even having 40K. So really, you wouldn't be able to afford to take care of me.
He wouldn't be able to, in a situation like that, you're absolutely right. He wouldn't be able to afford to take care of you, but you would have your own money to be able to take care of you.
And yes, I can. But then it would be, how are we building? Then now where we go from here? Because he's comfortable. He's comfortable. So I want more than just that. That means I got my own money, and see, he brings back to, so I'm a struggle with two people. I'm saying I'm gonna meet you, and because you got you're comfortable and you're doing that, I want more than that. That's why it means we both got to be on the same level.
Same
I
level.
want to travel. I want to do this. I may want a bigger home now. You know what I'm saying? Because I have kids. I'm going to be doing this. So if I'm going to move on with someone else, we got to be building to build so that we are able to do those things. Who want to stay at that level? I don't. Hopefully, if I get married, that don't mean I get married to shut down. I want a partner so we could travel around the world.
Right.
I want to be able to travel and see different things that I've never done before. No, I didn't say no. I want a BMW or I want this big mansion. But if my heart desire to do that later on down in my life to live where I worked hard all my life and I want something, I should be able to get it and have a partner who's with it and riding with me and who could be able to build with me to do those things. You can travel no world if you comfortable with just making 4K and because you got your own home and you paying all this stuff. So then now I keep my money and just roll, right? That's not a cool relationship because I would want to do for my man too. So it doesn't work on one part. I want to be able to, you know what I'm saying? That sounds selfish a little bit to say, yeah, my money is my money, but I want to be able to do something for my dude.
You know what though? I'm with you on that, Jill. I can honestly say that I wouldn't be comfortable with a situation like that either. But there are some women out there that make enough money for themselves that they don't need a man for money. They need a man for other things. And in those situations, I could see, like, let's say it's a woman who she's making, like I said before, 200K a year. She really don't need a man's money, right? She needs a man for companionship.
Yes.
She can pay for their trips. She can, provide for the family. She can do all those things. But most women that's in that position is not going to settle for a situation like that. Most women is not going to settle for a situation like that. And that's the talking point that Kevin Samuels is talking about when the women call into his chat and they want to know how they can acquire a man or marry a man or get a man who is making 6 figures a year. And his thing is, you don't have A, B, C, or D to get that type of man. What's wrong with settling for a man that makes $45,000? They don't want to do that. But the men that they want are only in, I think he said, the 10% of earners or 1% or something like that. So if that's the case, then we are fighting for the same man.
Yeah.
Too many women.
They said it's less men it's less men, black men than women already. So we listen. It's already a competition anyway.
Right, so
that many men.
It's already a competition. Then it's even more of a competition when you are a woman who want a man in the top earning bracket. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing that's one of the talking points that Kevin Samuels be trying to get across to the women that call into his show.
Asking more than what you got for yourself. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not expecting you to do more than what I could do for myself or something like that. Because I feel like we should be both being able to take care and do. I think it's a 2-party thing, but I would love for a man to do it all. But
yeah,
realistically, I'm just saying that's not all I'm thinking about is because I want him to fully take care of me. But you gotta have something to level up and starting out that level. I'm not looking for somebody who's a millionaire or all this money or way more than what I could provide. But you are looking for some way that you don't have to be struggling either, right?
Exactly. I agree. Yes, I agree.
So that's all I mean. This was a good topic.
Yes, guys, and we got to get out of here.
Me too, girl.
Jill, you still at work?
Yeah, I'm working from home today, though.
Okay, that's why you on this phone like this. When it's live, I'm like, wait a minute, Jill, you at work? The people on the people clock in the office, taking up their time and everything like that, girl.
Oh, I'm at home. I'm still working, though.
It was really nice. This conversation was good. I don't know when the last time.
How many people are here? How many people are here? 10 people? Okay.
It's 11 now. But I'm gonna get out of here because I need to take care of some personal things, and I've been on here for long enough. It was great talking with you.
Okay, bye. Thank you for everybody who was on the thing. That was interesting. Okay. I'm gonna go check out that. What's his name again? Let me see. I wrote it down somewhere. Boys Stop Capping TV.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye. Okay, everybody in the chat, thank you guys for tuning in. This was a great topic. I didn't expect for it to go on this long and to have so many people participate in the chat. I truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you that participated in the chat. Like, seriously, that meant a lot to me because sometimes it's hard to carry a show by yourself. And when you have people who can tune in with you, it makes it, better for the host. So although Baratiki was talking most of the time, he did help carry the show. So I appreciate that. I don't think I'm going to be doing a cooking show tonight because I've been on here for almost 4 hours with y'all, and I think that's enough for me for the day. Okay. But I want to thank you all for watching. Those of you who were here from the beginning to the end, I appreciate you. Those of you that were here from the middle to the end, I appreciate you. And those of you that came in at the tail end, I appreciate you. And you want to know why? Because no matter where you came in at on this show, you took the time out of your busy day and your schedule to spend it with me. And I appreciate each and every one of you for that. So with that being said, everybody, have a wonderful day and peace.